Or good afternoon or good evening. These are uneven. There you go. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening, everybody, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Saturday morning. Me, I'm awake. I'm here. Hello. I want to do PTR LFR today, but I said 9:30, which is in like half an hour-ish. So, first we must talk. Not that makes it sound like there's something serious. We gotta talk. First we chat like we always do, and then in a little bit I'll get onto PTR and talk about that for a bit. The talk. Yeah, no, nothing too scary. I figure while I wait, while I give some more time for the engines to fire up, I can do maybe some horsemen. Also, I did not stream yesterday, but I did do horsemen, and I have something to show. Green Arrow, thank you for the 15-month resub. PTR, LFR, OMG. I know, and I even said something in advance. I thought seriously about the possibility of just queuing up for LFR on stream without telling anybody, and then being confused when it didn't pop. And we may still not get enough people to do it. That is a possibility that I'm fully prepared for, but I figured I had a better chance if I tried, because basically yesterday they opened up this wing of LFR for testing on the PTR, and I figured if I logged on right when they opened it up and I queued up that I would get in and I could see it, because they've changed the Nimue encounter pretty substantially, and I want to take a look at the new version of it, and I missed the mythic testing for it. Also, I'm allergic to mythic testing. But I waited for 2 hours and I couldn't get a queue to pop, so I'm hoping that we can brute force this today. If we do get in, I'll do that thing where I change my screen to something like this that has nothing on it whatsoever, in the interest of recording some clean footage that I can use, but we'll see. Alright, so the thing that happened here for Headless Horseman wise. Missed the testing those two heroic bosses. They really, they snuck him in at the very end. I'm not too worried about Laradar for my own sake, because I did that one on the normal. I did a full normal clear, but that was back before they changed Nimue. They really, they really snuck it in. So, Windborn Velocidrake. Hallows End saddle. Wow, would you look at that? It's a pumpkin. I got the saddle to drop yesterday off stream on my first pumpkin loot box of the day. So now the only thing I am missing is the puppy, which is the one thing that I really want. I think the game heard that I didn't really care about the Drake riding armor, and it went, well, have I got the prize for you? Have a pumpkin. Interested to see what they changed for Nimue. I was reading through the encounter journal trying to figure it out. I didn't get very far. I didn't really I can see that there's some new mechanics and some things look like they'll probably play a bit differently. But it seems that there's no more dropping of safe places to cross the lines. But I need to just see it, and it'll be easier if I can get a queue for that. So we'll do our best. Let's go do a horseman or 2 or 3. Just to get things kicked off today, and then we'll log over to the PTR and take a look at it. Today's the day then. It could be the day. This could be the moment. Only care about the puppy, got mounted and the pumpkin at the same drop. Do you know if there will be a Twitch drop for the new season in retail? I don't know, and I'm surprised that we haven't heard anything yet, because they've done Twitch drops for pretty much every release of Dragonflight, really, right? They've really leaned into that, so I'm surprised that we haven't heard about anything. They might tell us at BlizzCon, or maybe they just don't have one. I don't know. But as far as it hasn't hit me. Although I miss things a lot. Did you divulge why you didn't stream yesterday? No, I just had an appointment. I'm not going to say a whole lot. I had to go see a person and then do a thing. had to be that time, and then later in the day was the LFR testing, which I thought was going to be really good, and then it turned out to be just waiting around for a bunch. And then I had did I have something in the evening? I feel like, oh yeah, I had to make the news video. That's right. which we definitely finished at a timely manner and not at all by waking up early this morning. Although at least I recorded it yesterday. That's something. I'm gonna give PI to like the mage, and I'm gonna try and just do some dodging and weaving and whatever. I have done Horseman 51 times. Have not gotten the pet. Did you get a haircut? I re-trimmed my hair a couple days ago. I re-buzzed it, and then I re-dyed it as well. So I've got a brand new pink. This is a babyier pink than I've been. Use the curses, always. I've been doing the curses for my first run of the day, and then usually my second one if it's a character that's like I'm used to. But I've kind of, if I end up doing more Horseman runs in the day, like I'm just kind of trying to fill it out of my alts for something to do, I've stopped bothering. It's just easier. And I just haven't seen enough evidence to show that the curses really help with Arthas specifically. I don't know that they don't, but I don't know. It's annoying enough that I would want some data to talk me into it.
Watch your feet.
Or some words to that effect. My puppy was so happy this morning. He was romping, he was playing, he was bringing his toys, and he was squeaking them.
Spread.
Jamie Lee, thank you very much for the 53-month resub. 53 months. Happy anniversary. Good luck on the pup. Didn't even know about it. Dropped for me on the first run. Non-streamer luck. Congratulations. That's awesome. This could be the one. This could be the one. It certainly, you know, if encounter length had anything to do, then we would be onto something here. I feel like we've been here for a little bit. I picked up a stack from something. I must either forgotten a thing or gotten clipped by something.
Watch your feet.
53 months, yeah. Oh, holy moly. Last 2 runs with a Resto Shaman I had. Shaman did a lot of DPS, died in like 30 seconds. Any clue why? Some people are just like good. Some people are also queuing as healer and then not healing. But if the encounter dies in 30 seconds, you can kind of get away with it. If you have, the encounter, as far as I can tell, doesn't really scale. So if you have people, I mean, it might scale to level, but for item level, people in full gear that are doing their rotations well are going to have, going to help speed it along dramatically. Not that it's me. I'm not the person in full gear doing my rotation well. I'm just here. Alright, loot that, and then we're gonna leave the group, and we're gonna open up the pumpkin in Valdrakken. Word of mouth on Arthas is way less conclusive than on the other things. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. It's annoying. Kill takes forever. Alright, is this the one? No, not so much. Let's do another one. Face tank everything on a reasonably geared mage with 4 curses. Barely got through my ice barrier. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I mean, the curses shouldn't make you take any extra damage unless you stand and stuff. They don't make it hit any harder, as far as I can understand. Yeah, let's do another one. Let's do one more. We have a few minutes. I'm trying to reclaim this sweater from the depths of a bad decision. Ages ago, a bunch of haircuts ago, I had trimmed my hair and I had done it over a towel that I then shook out and then I threw it in the wash to help trap the remaining little bits of hair. Unfortunately, I forgot that I was doing that, and I also threw the sweater through the wash with it, and my sweater became infused with millions of tiny shards of buzz-cut trimmed hair. And since then, I have run it through extra dryer cycles. I have run it over with a lint roller. I have run it over with the upholstery attachment in a vacuum. And I've gotten lots of little hair bits out of it every time, but it's still covered. And I'm now accepting that this is my hair shirt. This is like a self-punishing thing where I'm wearing it to remind myself not to do that ever again. And also because by slowly picking them out and or having them fall out is the only way it will ever be pure again. And I like this sweater. I don't want to give up on it. I don't have any better ideas other than doing the first 3 ideas more. They only reduce your health if you get hit by stuff, I think. Allison looked dope. Yeah, she's cool. Sounds itchy. It's not super fun. It's not as bad as it was. But it's entirely my own fault. I don't have that problem anymore. I've kind of refined my buzzing technique, and I can pretty much do it neatly into a trash bag now, and then I just vacuum the bathroom. I also do it nude, which is why I don't record it anymore. It solves the problem of having to get hair shards out of clothing if you just don't wear any clothing. Yeah, I could get a hairdresser's cape, but where's the fun in that? Easier cleanup, yeah. We've learned a few things over a year's worth of, well, not a year, almost a year worth of haircuts. But sometimes your mistakes stay with you, or they stay in your sweater. Did I get curses? I did. Here, look at me go. Fury of the Aspects. I pressed it. You're welcome. I was joking with Flabby last night about when was the last time you heard somebody say, "Excuse me, could somebody please use Fury of the Aspects?" Because I couldn't remember what it was called. I vaguely knew Evokers had Lust. It's one of those things that's so new that it's not like you might ask like a mage for Time Warp or somebody for like Bloodlust or Hero, but excuse me. Fury of the Aspects. I guess the Hunter one is also not usually asked for by name. Sounds like a nice Zen exercise. Go topless, you do you. I'm real, not keen on the hair fragments at this point in my life. Bless you for actually pressing Lust in there. I can credit stream for that one. I typically didn't. And then I did enough of these on stream on classes that could Lust, and people were like, Hazel, why? Please! And you gotta admit, there's a point there. Duct tape on the hair sliver? Or wax? I mean, I guess I could try duct tape. I tried a lint roller, which is basically a tape roll. I've done tape, I've done vacuuming, I've done dryer. They all work, they just didn't finish the job. I've lint rolled it on a couple of occasions, and you get a bunch of hair out of it every time. It's just, there's always more. Oh, I need to go touch the thing. There we go. Sticky stuff in a lint roller isn't harsh enough, though. Have you met my lint roller? PTR is not wanting to load? Ooh, that's no good. Yeeted all of them in the house in favor of a roll of duct tape. Interesting. I've always liked lint rollers well enough for just rolling lint. I've never had a problem with them before this. I always used to feel like a real fancy adult because I would like bring a lint roller with me to like an event or a convention or whatever. Like I would bring one to BlizzCon, and then I would like roll all the lint and the fuzzies off of my Alliance t-shirt or whatever before I went out on the convention floor, and I'd be like, I'm a professional. Tea Toast and Honey, thank you for the 13-month resub. Appreciate it very much. Also, JFox246 with a 24-month resub. Happy 2 years. Oh, this is a long run. Dedicated hair towel. So the thing with the hair towel was that it was this horrible, 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 cheap microfiber that was weird, right? Like it was a super synthetic polyester microfiber situation. Did not absorb any water ever. Positively hydrophobic. But it wouldn't take the hair either. You could kind of like bounce it, and all of the hair would just like pop up off of the towel and roll up into a ball. So the towel itself would have very little hair left in it. I think I just didn't do a very good job of that on this occasion. And usually I would wash it not by itself, but with other stuff that wouldn't take the hair. Basically not fuzzy things. But I forgot that time. Lil Wiggin, thank you for the 2-month resub. This was also earlier. We've since retired the towel. That towel is now a dog paw towel, where it is still just as ineffective as it ever was at drying water off of people. I don't know. No good. Alright, let's go see if we can get PTR to load, because that's going to be important. Sounds like magic. It's garbage. It's awful. I bought it because I needed some extra towels around the house, and I was cheap, and I was too cheap, and I've discovered the pains of being too cheap. Apologies to Silver Kitty, who when staying with me in Oregon had to use that towel. Terrible. Awful. What am I doing? I'm logging on to PTR. That's what I'm doing. I hate those towels. Yeah, they're awful. The least you can do is find something that's like cotton so that it has a chance of absorbing water. I used to buy the microfiber ones for cleaning as well, and I found that they very quickly become quite hydrophobic, where they'll just repel water. They don't even wipe anything up. I am now on the... what do you call it? They're marketed as Swedish dishcloths. It's kind of like a sponge cloth hybrid. I forget what they're actually made of, but they're good because they actually absorb liquid, which is all you want when you're trying to wipe something. Public test realm 10.2. Let's try that. Not doing a good job as a towel, but still magic. Yeah, I like my towels. The problem with my towels is I have some really extra large ones that are wonderful and they're magical. And you can wrap yourself in one out of the dryer and feel as though you're within, like, the Teletubbies land or something. But my washer, the washer in this rental is a little bit old. And it works fine and it's in good repair. They've done a good job of fixing it. It's just, you don't want to put too much stuff that gets really heavy when wet in it because it will very easily become off balance and cause the drum to bang. And I'm not trying to break the stuff. So I will... if you're washing one of the big towels, you must do so with other things that are very light. You cannot wash both of the big towels at once. One day, I'm going to have my own place, and I'm going to have really overkill washer and dryer for just, like, 2 people and no children. Although, the dog really goes through a lot of towels when it's muddy. So, I promised we were going to do an Alliance LFRQ on the PTR. I suppose I can open up a group. We don't need a full group to queue, although we do need... enough people to queue to get it going. But I figure I can start 2518? Yeah, 2518 I think is the thing. And then at 9, another 10 minutes and so we can like jump into queue and start sitting in there. Start walking the floor. Golden life, well-fitting clothes, nice towels. Don't forget nice bed sheets. I'm pretty happy with my sheets right now. Custom. Pre-made groups. Raids Dragonflights. Starter group. Hazel's. Here, do we have a minimum item level for it actually? Is there a way I can find that out? I don't know if that's going to be a problem. Let me hang on 1 second. If I log in a character that has very little item level, it might tell me. So if I copy... who has no gear? Barnacles. We copy Barnacles, we log on to him. Yeah, I also wonder if it scales. If folks have grabbed gear. It's an if though, and if they haven't, it won't let us queue, and that could be a real sticking point. Pre-made raid finder. I just want to be able to set the threshold on the pre-made group. Raid finder Verdian Weave. No, I think we should be fine. He's 360 and it'll let him in, so I think we're good. What you got for sheets? Are you a linen gal? I'm not, but now I'm thinking maybe I should be, because you're not the first person to mention it to me. I'm a cotton percale weave gal. Girly. Woman. Being. Yeah. I like them because they're breathable, and they're relatively cool, and I like it when sheets are a little bit crispy, or at least, I don't know, I just need them to be sheets. The ones that I got now are not as crispy as the other ones, but they seem like they might be a bit more durable. Hurry, scanner, repair log. Oh, I hope it starts working for you soon. I am going to log onto this one and start up a pre-made group. If anybody would like to come test with me, I would deeply appreciate it, because I don't have a hope of seeing this without your help. My only other option is to just stay queued up this entire weekend and hope that enough people happen to, like, do it. But if I couldn't get in for 2 hours when it first opened, I don't think I have a good chance. Starter group. Hazel's LFRQ. Wahoo! If you don't make it to the pre-made group, you should be able to just queue up And it should, as long as you're alliance. I don't think the server matters, and the region doesn't matter either. PTR is mixed between EU and NA, so queuing in 10-ish. What's group? I will heal, but I could DPS too if needed. McTaser2, thank you for the 46-month resub. Hey Hazel, nearly 4 years, but it doesn't seem that long ago. Thanks for the chill streams. Oh, shucks. Dagger called the nick of time. I kind of want it for the pun. That is Bumpkin. I was looking at the Druida forms on PTR recently, and I couldn't believe the Moonkin character creator. I knew there was I vaguely knew there were new Moonkin forms. I did not know that they had more options than gnomes. Mixed PTR, but not retail? Correct, yes. I don't know if it would pop on its own in PTR. It wasn't doing so good yesterday. We made it really close. There was a time yesterday where there was 2 tanks, 5 healers, and we were just missing 4 DPS. We had 14 of 18 DPS. And it just, people were asking in trade chat, and there were people around. We couldn't quite get it going. People in PTR don't usually care for LFR, vice versa. Yeah, you'd think that it's a form of raid testing. Some people, especially when the mechanics are all present, sure, it might be tuned kind of easy, but is there an event? They've opened up raid testing they've opened up one wing of LFR for testing over the weekend, so it's available, is one thing. It is not cross-faction, I don't think, no. I think it is. I think LFR queues are still single faction, so I'm doing Alliance. Yesterday I was trying on Horde because it seems that many more people on PTR tend to be Horde. You can also faction transfer your characters in PTR for free. There may be a better way to do it, but I've always done it by just repeatedly copying the character until it offers me a faction transfer on it. It'll usually give you something like a race change or something, so you just keep rolling it until it gives you a faction transfer. But yeah, we'll queue up in a few minutes. I'll probably hang out in queue for, hopefully we get it going, but if we don't, I don't know when my quitting point is. If I have to make the video with old footage, I can do that. I will make it work, but it wouldn't be the first time. But it would be nice to take a look at it. You can play hardcore until the queue pops. Can I? Can I run the PTR and Classic and stream without melting my computer? Don't get me wrong, it's a great computer. But I don't know about all that. Denori, thank you for the 9-month resub. Hello, Squirrel Squad. Stay safe out there. Get a game of TFT going too, right? Yeah. Yeah, it probably would run. I betcha the frames would be garbo. I think it would. That's asking a lot of one rig. Yeah, also hard. Once we're in queue, I don't have to invite people anymore. People will be able to just queue up on their own, and it should put us all into the same queue. This is the pre-group form. Critical Go, thank you very much for giving out a gift. So, I heard the new Hearthstone Battleground season, or the current one, I should say. I heard that the current Hearthstone Battleground season is super fun. I haven't played it. I feel like I just got clean. I feel like I just managed to stop thinking about it. I managed to get out from under the powerful thumb of the Hearthstone Battlegrounds brain. And then all of a sudden people are like, wow, it's really fun. You should try it again. Alliance Tractor comes in handy again. I hope we're able to get this going. Anomalies are pretty crazy. Anomalies. I'm assuming that's within Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I was thinking anomaly detection, and then I thought that can't be right. Easy to fall off the wagon. I know. I'm a professional wagon get back oner. I've got a fast pass frequent access card to the wagon staircase for a variety of things. I'm nothing if not queen of trying new things and then quitting them and then trying them again. It's not great, but I figure it's better than never trying. It's kind of what we got. How old were you, and when did you start playing WoW? Started when TBC came out? Can't stop playing. I started in Wrath I started in Wrath. It was late Wrath. It was kind of 09-ish. And in 2009, I would have been 17. I was like 17-ish. I feel like I was 16, but the numbers indicate like 17. Maybe I was playing earlier on like a different account or something, and that's why it's not showing in my achievements. Yeah, 16, 17, and then like 2008, 9. Wrath baby. Total Wrath baby, yeah. And back in the day, people used to, not bully me, but people used to have that as like kind of a thing they could throw at you. Like, oh man, you don't get opinions about this game. You're a Wrath baby. And as the years go on, it becomes, I don't know, farther in the past. And I feel less like a newcomer because it's been a minute now. Missed you, Hazel. I'm back. It's a good time to start. Yeah, I liked it. I mean, my famously controversial opinion is that my first expansion was my least favorite one, despite the fact that Wrath was one of... I'm just a contrarian, I suppose. I don't like things that other people like, and then I like things that other people don't like. So, like, Wrath was miserable for me, despite the fact that I started playing, because I didn't know anything, and I felt stupid. And I didn't feel good enough to play with the people that I knew. And it was just a big mess. And then the other expansion I didn't really super love, and it was fine, but I felt kind of... The expansion in which I played the most other games was Legion, because Legion had a lot of great things that just kind of weren't my cup of tea. My first X-Pack to play from the beginning was Kata, but the last patch of Wrath lasted for a long time. I played a good amount of Wrath when it was current. Kicked you from a random raid were mean to you. Those weren't my friends. Those were pugs. That was a pug experience. I don't remember what I did with my friends. I started playing because my high school friends were super into it. And I know I played with them a little bit. I don't remember doing very... I mean, it's a long time ago. I guess I don't remember much. I'm going to queue us up and we're going to hope for the best. And if you come along and you would love to try out this LFR wing with us on stream, all you need to do is queue on Alliance PTR for the Viridian Weave. We're going to try this out and see how it goes. I'm going to queue as both heals and DPS depending on what people need me to do. And if we do ever get this going, then I will switch to a clean recording screen so I can grab some footage. But we'll see. X got me into WoW, kept the game, not the X. A few of my exes played. Was it all of them? No, I dated some people that didn't play WoW. It was strange dating anybody that didn't play WoW as a WoW player because I felt like I needed to downplay, especially because at the time I was playing a lot of WoW. And I felt like I needed to downplay how much time I was spending doing this or how into it I was because I didn't date them for very long. They were perfectly nice. It just didn't work out. But I remember trying to explain to this person because they were asking me about it very politely. They were interested in what I was interested in. I was trying to explain it to them and it sounded bananas. Tasked by a fellow squirrel to A, say hi, and B, ask you to come raid again. Hi. Now that I've done this, I never have to again. Your task is done. Oh man. Not played EQ for a long time. Catch old videos of it. And I miss it. Hubby feels kind of the opposite. Doesn't play well. But I do and all his close friends do. What do we got? Husband doesn't play has become very good at pretending to know what I'm talking about. That's very sweet. Horseman's Reigns dropped. Congratulations, Void Muse. Alright. So we are missing 2 healers, a variety of DPS, and 2 tanks. I need to give this... Here, let's turn on some PTR music. I think I turned it off earlier because I had like iTunes music on or something. Sound music, yeah. What else can I do while I wait? We're on the PTR. We could... You know, I've actually never been to the new zone. Always wanted to date a gamer. Now that I have that, we just play games separately. It's funny how that works sometimes. dating pools consistently of mostly gamers. Most of the time people understood the concept or even played it with me. I reached a point where I started specifically looking for other WoW players to date. Not on WoW, but back when I was dating, I would, like in my early 20s or late teens, I was on like dating sites because it was before the app swipey version because I'm a dinosaur. And I would specifically look for WoW players because I knew that it would be, or I felt at the time that it would be difficult to date somebody that didn't have the same habit as me. Yahoo dating. Got Arthas in the first try. Congratulations. Yesterday I got the glyph of dire bees for my hunter. Turns dire beasts into bees. It's hilarious. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've heard of that one before. Spent dragon riding glyphs. Anyway, how are you today? I'm doing all right today. I'm doing okay. I had this dream. And I had to get up early this morning because I hadn't edited the news yet. So I needed to get up a couple hours before stream so I could edit. Which is fine. I find it easier to work early in the morning than late at night. So if it gets super late and I'm not done something yet, sometimes I'll be like, I'm just going to bed. I'll get up at like 6 and do it then. And that's all fine and good, except that I was having this dream where I was like out, I had gone through a portal and I was on this like floating glacier situation, ice flows, a big steep hill. It was on very frigid water. I had a bunch of like recording equipment. I don't remember what I was doing. I know I had logged into Twitch with a very old account and a very old computer. And then I got a pop-up that said, gotcha, I've stolen your account. It's like, okay, I'm going to have to change my Twitch password later. But I was like, it was getting dark and I was like realizing that people were probably looking for me. And I had kind of like gone missing. And I was barefoot on this like ice floe being like, if I fell into that water, I am super dead. I will be a hazel popsicle. That's no good. And I finally kind of like corralled my stuff and I managed to scramble up this big icy hill. And I was very cold. And I made it through the portal back to where all the people were that had been looking for me. They were very angry with me. So I knew I needed to apologize for having wandered off down the ice in the first place. But I was excited to be back because I was like, well, maybe somebody will give me a blanket. Maybe somebody will make me a cup of tea. I really would love to get warm now. But I woke up before anybody could get me a blanket or a cup of tea or before I could even apologize for having wandered off. And then it was like 6 a.m. I'm in my bed in real life and it's like freezing outside. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready to get up yet. No, I need to finish the dream. I'm not warm yet, despite the fact that I woke up very warm in bed in a very, very cold room. So it was a bit tricky to get up. It took me an extra about 15 minutes of mentally playing out what I imagine would have been the rest of the dream in my head before I had made my peace with getting out of bed. I have done Headless Horseman. Wasn't the challenge that I remember. Interesting. I've had quite the opposite experience. It's much more of a challenge than I remember. Trial was yesterday. In about a week or so, we'll know how it turned out. Oh, that's good. At least it's over. Yeah. Yeah. I had a dream that my mom discovered my edible stash. We are not the same. Oh, my fingers are really cold. I've fallen off my exercise bandwagon. There's another wagon I need to crawl back on top of. It's just so cold outside. But I know I feel a million times better when I go for runs. Oh, we have a tank. We have a tank. We have 3 healers. We have 4 DPS. It was so strange to me yesterday on PTR when I was waiting for this queue off stream. It was so strange to me that DPS were the problem. Not the problem, but like we couldn't get them. There weren't enough of them. We were missing 4 DPS and 4 DPS only, and that was the only reason the queue wouldn't pop. I have not asked in trade yet. I should do so. I'm just shy. Extremely easy to fall off that wagon. The nice thing is the wagon's always waiting there for you. You never have to say, well, I fell off and I'm off forever, but... Or to get on that wagon, to not have to run yourself. Taking initiative. Do you want one of us to ask? Yes, please. Word picture doesn't really work. Yeah, I was doing really good for like 2 weeks, and then I got sick, and that was like, what, a month ago? I don't know, a while ago. And I've been well recovered for a while. Nope, can't exercise. Maybe sick that one time. It didn't even make me sick. I just happened to get sick. It happens to lots of people in the fall. Ooh, speaking of things in the PTR, have you seen this transmog? It's an offhand called the Breezekeeper's Pinecone Scepter, and it looks like a pinecone! How cool is that? Man. That's pretty cool. I'm hoping it's just a green that I got to randomly drop in Raid, I'm pretty sure. So I'm hoping that there are more colors of it. I'm sure there probably must be. It makes me want to look through the appearances. Let me see. What else do we got? Appearances, items, offhand. Do we have other colors of it? I would wear it in like green or brown. Something pinecone-ier. Although, I don't feel like this is showing me all the offhands. I feel like this is showing me other things. Do I have a filter on? Filter to not collected. I guess. This is where rabies comes from. What do you have planned after stream? Could go for a run. Could do. Today's a bit busy because I mean, any excuse to not go for a run is stupid because I run for like 15 minutes or less. It takes no time. My excuse is I have some cooking to set up early so that I have some food that is ready later so that I can take my dog out to get him some exercise before I have company for dinner. That's my excuse, but it's not a very good excuse. My second excuse is that it's cold outside. And then my third excuse is that I want to run with my dog, but my dog is a puppy and he hasn't really figured out running. Also, he's a puppy, so maybe he shouldn't run, but I think we've kind of let that train go. Dog's gonna exercise. There's no stopping him. But running in like a straight line without tripping me is harder for him. He also likes to stop to sniff things. Like he'll catch a scent trail and he will stop very suddenly and plant. And he is sturdy if he does not want to move. And if you do not react to that quick enough, you are going down. I do eventually want to. I should keep working on it. I shouldn't give up. I should keep working on it because it would be lovely to have him come for runs with me. Plus, it would help chip a little bit of his exercise quota off of the the dog battery. The problem I have, it's not really a problem, but the thing I'm working with him on now is at the dog park, he is a bit prone to what apparently is called third wheel barking, where I didn't know this, but apparently dogs play best in even numbers and they play best in pairs. And sometimes when you end up with 3 dogs that are all playing together, the third one, the odd one out, gets kind of like mad that they're the odd one out, and they'll start, or not mad, but they'll start like barking and being kind of obnoxious and annoying the other 2 dogs and also all of the surrounding people. And Moose is quite prone to this because if there are 3 dogs, especially if the other 3 are more evenly matched, he will make a bit of a pest of himself. So I'm working on just kind of redirecting him to try to find him other dogs to play with or to just take a break and do some commands or have some water or whatever. But it's tough to get him when he's doing that because his recall's not bad, but we're still practicing recall when he's like actively playing. So I basically have to catch up to him, which is tough. But I don't really have a better plan. I guess I could just stop letting him play at the park, but that would be a thing. Hard to move a 100-pound dog. Got the brilliant idea just last night to start reading again. Dig up to read for fun. Well, that sounds nice. I started something less fancy, but I started Discworld. I started The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. I've never read it before, but I finished Lord of the Rings. I decided against the Silmarillion, and I was just like heartbroken and lost and adrift in the sea of I don't know what I'm going to read next. I have to have a book. I cannot I cannot fall. I mean, I guess I can, but I traditionally will fall asleep reading Or I will get sleepy while reading, and then I'll go to sleep. And if I am between books, I am distressed because that's my routine. I need it. It's just like having like my earplugs or my sleepy hat that I wear to sleep. Anyways, I'd finished Lord of the Rings and I needed something. And I was like, well, we've kind of burned through a lot of the big fantasy classics in the last 2 years. We read all of Wheel of Time. We read the 6 Dune books. I redid Lord of the Rings. What else did I read? I did a bit of sci-fi. And I wanted more of those things that are like the all-time greats. And I looked into Kingkiller Chronicles, but apparently they're not done yet. And I've already been down that road with George. I'm not ready to start another thing that may never be finished. Sanderson. Oh yeah, I read Mistborn, but it was fine, but I don't really want more of it. It didn't scratch my itch the same way that I wanted it to. It was good, but it wasn't what I was looking for. So I'm trying Pratchett. I'm going to give that a go. George says the next book is being worked on. Yeah, George says a lot of things. I think George is retired and hasn't told us yet, and he may not know himself. I don't know what ACOTAR is. Color of Magic isn't the best Pratchett to start on, but I wanted to start at the beginning. Video for a progression guide. Overwhelmed as soon as 60. Need to get through the expansion, hit endgame. Don't want to skip the story either. I didn't plan on it. If you don't want to skip the story, then the main thing to do is just to prioritize the quests that are at the top of the quest log with these banner-shaped icons. Those are going to be your campaign quests. Those are going to have all the story. You should invite me. Inviting. Is there another group? Oh, no. Oh, he's in this group. I'm on Inksy. Can you request an invite or... That was Flabby, not me. Well, where are you? I'm not in a guild or anything. What's your name? Let's see. Because, yeah, we're getting there. We're nearly there. Just Jans / in Jans. Target is unfriendly. We are alliance. Are you Horde? Should I still be working towards the 4 faction reps? Never quite understood them. It's optional. It's not needed for gear progression. It will offer some profession knowledge progression, and they have their own stories and story campaigns. So if you want to learn about their stories, you can still do that, but you won't need it for item level. Hi, Hazel. Hello, Empress Tiramisu. Is faction needed for pathfinding? But is pathfinding needed? If you can already dragon ride, riding regular mounts may or may not be considered mandatory. As a person who owns a cat and a dog, does silence in your space scare you? They're both pretty quiet when they're just chilling. It used to, when I first brought the puppy home, if you knew he was awake and it had all gone very silent, you were like, oh no, he's up to something. But he's really chilled out. As long as he's had enough exercise, he doesn't really, knock on wood, doesn't really get into that much mischief at home. The real trouble is, what is the real trouble? I don't think I had a trouble when I started to say that sentence. I know what you mean, though. Don't think I've heard Kira meow on stream. She usually does it from a different room. If she's in this room, she knows she can just come, like, headbutt me. She's on the chair right now sleeping. But if she wants me to leave this room, she will get up from here, wander out to a different room, and then go, meow! And then I'll usually meow back at her. And then if Mr. Moose is barking inside, it means that either he's playing and he's very excited. He's discovered the spooky dog in the television. And he is very concerned. Or he really, really needs to go out and use the bathroom, and then he will go woof, and then you're like, okay. Yeah, we're in good shape. Do we eat at a table? Haven't been. The addition of forecasts has turned dinner time into a state of siege. Yeah, we'll eat breakfast at the table, and then dinner is often at the coffee table in front of the TV. Not a good idea, but it's what I do. And they're both good at leaving the food. We've been pretty good with Moose with not letting him get too close to the plates. And also he gets his own thing. So he'll get like a treat to chew on while we're eating at first, and then he'll finish that and then he'll settle down. It was a war for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because he wanted our food and he was like, give it to me, woof. And what we would do is we would just get up, leave the room, and then go like sit in here where he can't get because there's a baby gate. Just basically leave him alone and then go eat away from him. And he learned pretty quickly that if he barks at us for our food, he's not going to have our company. So he cut that out in a hurry. And now he just mostly he'll be like, can I sniff it? And I'll be like, no, and then he'll go settle down. How does Moose feel about loud noises? Doesn't seem to mind him unless it's something that he's not used to. But for the most part, we live downtown, so there are sirens and skateboarders and bicycles and motorcycles and people with weirdly unmuffled vehicles and helicopters and yelling people and children and dogs, and like there's a lot of noise. And he's been growing up around it, so he's kind of like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm going. No, there's not been a bear outside, or if there was, I didn't hear about it. With my dog, the quieter the bark, the more serious the situation was. Oh, I see. You're not talking to me about the bear, whispered Jeff. That might be there's a bear just outside. There we go. We are now missing 6 DPS and 6 DPS only. This group might be real. This might be a reality. Such a blessing. Baby's terrified of loud sudden noises, won't go on walkies if she hears anything. It's tough, especially if they changed, like if they didn't grow up around it and they have to adjust to it later. It's hard. Mr. Moosey still likes to stop and sit and stare at dogs as they go by, which sometimes makes other dogs nervous, but Mr. Moosey mostly just wants to find out if he's allowed to play with them. And, I'm still working on that one. I guess I'm working on a lot of things. I've only had the dog for 3 months, 2 months. But I just want him to be a well-behaved boy that gets along with everybody. Introduction to mountain life after city upbringing, seeing a bear and running away. Yeah, smart dog, there you go. Mr. Moose made a friend, and it was like he meets lots of people, and we met somebody who was like gathering leaves and then into a truck, and the man said, "Does he like dirt?" And I said, "He loves dirt," and the man said, "Me too." It was nice, pet the dog, say hi. This is figuring out that people with lawn equipment are not necessarily frightening. He was a bit nervous about people with rakes and shovels. He was nervous about people with table saws, which, to be fair, I am too. He wasn't quite sure about all that, but he's getting close to it. Real loud noise test is probably New Year's. We had fireworks for what was it? BC Day, Canada Day. I got the dog in August, so Canada Day would have been over. There were fireworks for something. He didn't seem to really mind. But yeah, there would be more fireworks than New Year's. And there's probably going to be some for Halloween as well. We can do it. My cheat code for brushing Moose, because he doesn't hate the brush, but he gets a bit impatient with it, and he gets, I guess, tickly or whatever, and he like tries to bite the brush and take it. He wants to play with it. He thinks we're trying to play. Maybe it feels like a dog like nipping at his flanks or something. But I found out that if he's eating his food, I can do anything to him, and I don't exist. If he has a bowl of food in front of him, or he's got a slow feeder in front of him, there's nothing else in the universe. You can trim his nails. You can brush him. You can pick up his ears and go, "Boo-loo-loo-loo-loo." You're not there. So it's the only time that he really like stretches his neck all the way out to reach his food bowl. So I've discovered that's a really good time. Not every time, but that's a really good time to brush out his neck fur, because otherwise you're not really going to get all of it. I'm not planning on receiving trick-or-treaters. With the building the way that it is, it's not like a big thing. It's kind of like it would just be people from within the building. I have not participated and I don't plan to. Not necessarily because of Moose, but just because, I don't know, I've never done it and I've never really felt desire to. I'm selfish. I trick-or-treated as a child and I'm not giving back to the community of children. Ferret grabbed a lit firework, turned out okay. So smart, yet so clumsy. Oh my goodness. Yikes. Good afternoon, Hazel and chat. Keep the candy for yourself. That's what I do. I thought about picking up Halloween candy, but then I would end up just eating it all. And I don't know if I want that. I have some apples in my fridge. Maybe I'll bake an apple pie at some point. Ugh. Looking for 4 DPS to queue up for LFR. We're so close. A lot of people are doing trunk or treat with their cars. Is that where you're handing out candy from the back of your car trunk, or you're driving your car around and filling up your trunk with candy that you have collected? Get some penny pouches to give away. Wes says that's popular, right? I have not got Arfus yet. Give it away, certainly won't eat it. Oh, yeah. Go to the car. There's candy there. Lines up in the parking lot, hands out candy as if it was a neighborhood. Oh, that's cute. Jans, thank you for the 5-month resub. Jeff, it's a time-honored debate. However, I think the kids have been doing it for a long time, and it hasn't really impacted their candy soliciting behavior in the rest of the year. Playing as a holy priest, my favorite. We're so close. I think I've seen one of your YouTube videos before. Well, thanks. I've got a couple out here and there. I make those. I do news roundups on Saturdays. I do raid guides for raid releases. What else do we do? Are you gonna play Disc next year once it's OP? Not me. I'm a Holy Priest diehard. I have no good reasons. I just like it better, but I'm stubborn about it. I won't play Disc unless it's like outrageously better for something. The only time I've ever swapped to Disc was for Blackwater Behemoth, when absorb shields, just because of the nature of that fight and the fact that you could not heal for sections of it if you hadn't killed the pufferfish or whatever, but you could still put up absorb shields. It was just insanely better to be a Disc Priest, and we were progressing, so I swapped for that because they just needed warm bodies to press shields. But I'll never, I don't think I'll ever main Disc. It's just not my thing. Used your guide for the Sundarter hatchling pet. Oh, nice. Do you know how many you have by now? How many what I have? Oh, YouTube videos? I don't know. I feel like it would be a big number that sounds more impressive than it is, because a lot of them would be like stream VODs or just like, I guess Saturday news videos are real videos, but you know, you put them out every week for long enough and you just end up with a bunch of them. At least 10. This is going to be pretty outrageously strong. You couldn't pay Hazel enough to pay Disc. That's not true. If somebody wanted to give me, and I don't recommend this, it's a stupid idea, but if you were like, I will give you $200,000 and you have to main Discipline Priest forever? I'm like judging, would I do it forever? Yeah, for $200,000 probably. There's a house down payment. See, I'm not being greedy. I'm not even asking for the whole house. Raise your rates. Yeah. More than 15 videos. Oh, you want to know how many videos in the channel? Let me see. My number is going to include unlisted videos, so my dashboard will have more than other sources would. Does it say? It used to tell you how many that you had. My channel videos. It says 1.9K. I don't have a more specific number than that via there. Maybe Social Blade knows. Social Blade. But yeah, YouTube thinks 1900. Hazelnutty Games. This is not on the VOD channel, just on the main channel. Social Blade says, yeah, 1962 uploads. Created May 29th, 2013. That's me. Unlisted secret videos. Nah, just stuff that, some of them are, I would occasionally, like, record my Mythic Plus dungeons with my friends and then post that privately to my channel to share with them, just to have, like, VOD review, basically. So there's a handful of those, probably no more than 10. Keep that number in your head when you feel like you're not posting enough. Aw, shucks. Oh yeah, there's going to be a handful of member-only ones as well, because we started posting those. Older outdated information videos that got redone. I don't delist those. They just get lost in the flow of time. Scary 200 grand is just a deposit on house. To be fair, I'm dreaming pretty big here. If I wanted to get a townhouse or like a condo, then I wouldn't need 200 grand. I would need like 150 grand. I have big dreams. VOD reviews were the days. Hello. Patreon videos are unlisted. Patreon videos. Did I do Patreon videos? I feel like maybe I did, and it's just like forgotten to me now. How about 100K for this forever? Forever? I don't know. USD? C80? I did before the YouTube member videos. What was in them? Oh, I know there was at least one or two like Patreon intro videos that was like, welcome to my Patreon. If you give me this much money, you're in the draw for this thing. I used to do like raffles basically. Did I make one every month though? C80. Yeah. Tax-free? Windfall? If it's not tax-free, I think we got no deal. You want to know why I never do projects anymore? It's because I'm way too greedy. I won't get out of bed for less than an insane amount of money that I am genuinely not worth, so I just don't get out of bed. Oh, man. How's our queue doing? Not too bad. It's like being booked and busy, except that you're not booked or busy. You're just greedy. 2 more DPS, let's go. Oh. That's a good question, Saga. I don't know. No one's ever tried to give me that much money in one go. There is some form of a windfall law for Canada where winnings from game shows and whatnot are not taxable. What play on PTR? I need footage of the new, I want footage of, alright, hang on. Clean gameplay. Record video. Enter. And then I guess I can always grab it from the stream VOD if I really need to. So you won't be able to see me. You won't be able to see me. I'm also gonna make a new window maybe. But it should be just 2 bosses. Yeah. You can still hear me. Is this gonna be my VTuber era? I was looking at VTuber software for really unclear reasons. I don't know why. And then I thought, what if I had an alternate ego where I had a VTuber and I really amped up the cute friendly thing and I played, what game would you play? I don't know. But from whenever I've like clicked into like a YouTube VTuber stream, it's always just been somebody going, wow, thanks, hello. And that's like the stream. And I'm like, well, I can do that. Hi, hey, hi, hello, how are you? Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing, yeah. Thanks for doing this. Thank you for doing this. But whenever I get ideas to try other forms of content like that, I'm always like, do the form of content you're already in first. You know, like, make YouTube videos before you complain that you're, like, not a successful VTuber, that you're not. Quite a few VTubers, they're hilarious. Yeah, custom VTube avatars are expensive. Cheap Garbo ones are, like, free. I remember playing around with, also, do I have to do anything? What do I do? How are you guys disappearing? What do we do? Where are we going? We're going this way. I had, I'm a Adobe Creative Cloud subscriber, which means that I give Adobe exorbitant amounts of money and I can use any software that I want. And ages ago, I used to like download all of them pretty much and play with all of them because I had some really misguided idea that I was going to be like learn how to use all of them, and then I downscaled that to learn how to use like the audio visual ones, and then I downscaled that to maybe I should learn some tricks in Premiere, and then I was like, well, I know how to do enough. But I went through a phase where I was, you know, practicing and like learning how to do do like vector art and animation and whatever. Just different things that you can do in Adobe software. They've got a million different things that they have. But there was one, and it was Character Animator, and it was basically the same tech that drives VTubing. It was webcam-based motion tracking and attaching vector art icons to that. Like, basically, you could make a stick figure dance around. And I remember, I think I tried it, like, on stream or something, or on a video. I have this deeply buried memory of a terribly drawn Hazel stick figure that I was making move with my webcam. And I just kind of did it as a proof of concept thing, but it was, it reminded me of VTubing because it's basically the same thing, except that the avatars are much nicer and they're not garbage. Adobe keeps trying to push their new redesign on me. I'm opting out every time. Adobe told me this morning that there's a new update to Premiere that gives some really cool new features that I wanted to try, and then I went to download it and it's like, you already have it. And I'm like, oh man, I don't want to figure out how to use these. Do I actually have these features? I don't know, who's to say? But I wanted to try some of it because some of it seemed really cool. Jans, you're asleep. Microsoft Paint VTuber skills will cost you. Uncanny Valley for me. I think that it has a very strong audience. I just think the demographic is different. I don't know in what way, but I think there's not a lot of overlap between the people that I know and speak to a lot, and I'm wondering if it's a younger audience, if it's kind of like this weird, not weird, but this interesting overlap between watching a cartoon and watching a live stream, where you're watching a streamer, but they're sort of more accessible and less scary because they're sort of encased in this really cute looking cartoon. And a lot of them will also do sort of voices or characters that seem like they would be more at home on like children's programming. But I'm sure that they're not all, you know, it's a big thing. I'm sure they're not all like that. Those are just the big ones that I tend to see on YouTube whenever I used to look. So this is Council of Dreams. This is a council fight. This is the one with the duck polymorphing, and it's LFR, so I'm sure everything will be fine. Effectively, I don't know. I guess I don't know what the changes for LFR were. In retail, it'll turn you into a duck, and one person, when the bear is raging, needs to go de-duck themselves over on top of the bear to duck the bear, so that he stops raging because he is now a duck. There you go. There's already guy. There's also pointing a charge attack into you. Oh, there's only two. Oh, these are trash? I don't know. Anyway, this isn't the fight that I was... I'm looking for the next fight. But it'll be interesting to see how this one is on LFR. I'm so happy that we got this going. Thanks, guys. Wonderful opportunity to meet the Overwatch concept artist, Daryl Tan, at a college meeting. Showed us the process and how he creates the skins. Oh, that's awesome. VTubers would have been a thing 10 years ago. Probably would have tried to start myself as a VTuber. I wonder if I would have as well. It would have saved me a lot of anxiety about putting my face online if I never had to do it. The cat's out of the bag now. Morning, Hazel. Morning. Oh, thanks, Critical Go. I really appreciate that. I like to say that I'm a very selfish streamer and that I just stream what I would have been doing anyway. And the dream is that that is relatable to people because it's maybe similar to what they would do anyway. But in practice, it's mostly just because I feel like I would not have the patience or the focus or the stamina to stream very often if I wasn't enjoying what I was doing on stream. If I was just doing what was popular, like following a trend or playing a popular game or hosting a bunch of events because I'm not really a natural host. If I was just focusing on doing all of that because I thought it would make my stream popular, I would burn out pretty quick and I would end up like, you know, being late and missing streams and canceling streams more than I currently do. I mostly cancel streams for appointments and whatnot. Because I wouldn't want to be here. But I do want to be here because this is a really great excuse for me to hang out and be super comfy and cozy and warm and wear my fuzzy slippers and just like play WoW for a few hours in the morning. It's great. I wonder what folder this is going to. I've never recorded with Twitch Studio before, but worst case scenario, I can rip it off the stream VOD. So those are the ducks. Bear's not currently raging as far as I can tell, so you can just deduck yourself wherever you want. When you become a duck, you can deduck by first running through a bunch of these little blooms to clean them up, and then you'll get a button that allows you to transform back into a non-duck. So now he's raging. So one of these polymorph bombs, it's not on me, is going to want to go collect the things they can deduck, and they're going to stack on him. They're going to and now he's a big duck. There we go. That's exactly how it works. I'm excited for Amirdrassil. It looks like a nice raid. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun. What kind of stuff should we collect after stream? I guess I could do more horseman attempts. I could just kind of like queue the rest of my characters through horseman. I've done 2 goes, but I could just kind of do no curse runs on anybody, really. Saturday. I could do a couple of mount runs for a change. I could do, I want to check whelp daycare. I did one of the whelp daycare quests I needed, so I only have 2 more left to find. So I need to check to see if they're up today. I did, the blue whelp dragon whelp racing quest yesterday, and I did it really late, right before I was going to bed, and I was really tired, and I just wanted to go to bed, and I just wanted to get it done really quickly because I knew it's the daily, it's going to rotate out. Oh, I was not having a good time. So she jumps out and she starts aiming a big raid damage basically, and then he starts firing up a charge, so you just aim that charge at her, and then that will stop her from casting that. Alternatively, you can run a bunch of raid cooldowns. But yeah, there you go, there you go. Where's Block? There he is. This could be the day that Rust Feather drops the thing. It could be. I don't want to go do Rust Feather. If I was going to do a mount, I want to do Abyss Worm, Mistress Sassy, and Timus Argeris. The LFR wing, actually, would be really easy to just like do on a bunch of characters because you just dollar on Hearthstone and then you just queue up for the right one and it takes you right in. But I wanna check on pets. I wanna do at some point I wanna finish Secrets of Azeroth. I could work on that today. I'm 7 secrets in, so I've got a lot more to go. Secrets of Azeroth, the War Snail thing, and then the other thing I wanted was the other thing I wanted... Oh, I want to find out how awful Zapthrottle Soul Inhaling is now after the changes, and decide whether or not I want to do it, or I want to try to cross-realm buy it. That's what I want to know, is can I... There's Nimue. I want to know is, can I farm those myself? Do I want to farm some of them myself? Do I want to just cave and spend the gold to buy those spirits? Because I can make that happen. Chipping away at those pets with no luck at all. Yeah. It feels like it would be such a flex to have farmed all 4 of them. Alrighty. So, I mean, I guess we'll just see it. Verdant Matrix draws upon the dream. Blah, 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 blah. So I know you take damage when you cross the threads. It seems that stacks up. So if you run across a bunch of these threads on the floor, you're going to get a big stacking debuff that's going to hurt. So you'd want to, if you do have to cross a bunch of them, kind of wait to let that fall off before you keep going. There's some raid healing burst. There's going to be some rain to dodge, it seems like. There are surging growths that we need to stand on to reduce the duration of their raid damage. That's new to this version of the fight. I'll have to look for that. There's a magic loom that weaves threads that sound like they just kind of emerge from Nimue and you dodge them, that kind of thing. We've all died. Owie. Once it resets, I can res anybody else that needs a res. What happened? Verdant Rend. When crossing threads of the Verdant Matrix. Affecting... Okay, so it's literally don't cross the beams. Who has the beams? Okay. Are the beams attached to somebody? That's funny. Yeah, we've turned cam off just during LFR so I can get some clean footage. They shoot out the beams like a bar. The Ancients do? Because I see her beams. Ooh, that makes me nice and fast. Small sacrifices for greater things. What's this? I don't know. I just want to take another look at it. And it looks like when we do get to the raid fight, which we're still clearing trash, their ad phase still there. Ad phase still there. Frontal cone. Dodging things. And then again, don't cross beams. So when you're on the grass, you don't take any damage from crossing a beam. So that's still there. Interesting. Oh, look, loot. Yeah, these are the only 2 fights that we're going to see today, because this is the wing of LFR that's available to test. But this is the one that I really wanted a new look at, so this is really good. I'm excited. You also move faster on the grass. 60% movement speed. We need groups? I was gonna make you lead, but I'm not leading. One side for each ad. I don't think I'm actually... Can I move people? Oh, I can move people. Can I make all assist? Only raid leader can change to all assist. Can we eyeball it? Yeah. All right, let's give it a go. So those are the growths. If I stand in it, I think I'm reducing its duration, unless I'm thinking something else. Yes, I'm standing in it and I'm shrinking it, so we want to stack in these. Okay, so those are horizontals. Did they just kind of go out from the boss? That, I think, is on the tank. And then I go through that. Yeah, so you take a little bit of damage for passing through a wall. But it's not that big of a deal if you let it drop before you go. So then we get an ad phase. And then each side has an ad. And then they give the grass that lets you kind of go back to where you came from. She winds a bunch of stuff back. She lights the floor up again. And we have new growths. So if you cross 2 walls, 2 stacks, it's fine. Tank runs out with the big green thing. So they do go away on their own, but it's a much less damage. If, how much does this hurt, do you think? Oh, it stuns. Okay. Good to know, good to know. And then we get another ad phase. Might need to do this with some determination. Shall we wipe it up? Try again. Yeah, not mad at that. I think that the main thing I saw is that we just need to stand in more of those little grass circles to make them go away. And then also my attempt to completely ignore group splitting seems to be not going well. Who has raid lead? I think Lou has raid lead. We might be able to all throw down markers. But we are down 5 DPS and a healer, so we control it again, but we may be it's not going to scale down to our group size or anything, so we might be in trouble. But we don't need to kill it necessarily. I'm just happy to see it. Yeah, I've got what I need. Let's try it one more time, though. Let's try it one more time. When people get here. The fight has been redesigned since it went through original testing, so some of the mechanics that we saw, like the swords, I think are just gone. Do I ever actively think about all the times you host something like this and it goes well? I can't say that I do, but I don't think about a lot of things. I can't tell if it's cold in here or if I'm just a lizard. Alright. Try this again. Because, yeah, you can cross the lines. You just don't want to run across, like, a ton of them. And then we definitely want to dodge the bars. It seems like it might be nice to have the raids spread so that there's people available. Whoa, those get bigger. People available to... Oh, this is going to suck. Cover the various plants that sprout without needing to cross a ton. Does it shrink faster with 2 people? Seems like it might. Kind of magmaraxy. Okay, it looks like it's ads time. That was much better with the raid damage, by the way. I think that's just from standing on the flowers. Or little grass patches, circles. Okay, very good, very good. That was great. And then she weaves a bunch of beams in. Those don't seem like you're supposed to dodge them. They just seems like a bit of a raid damage phase. At first glance, anyway. Well, I'm going. Because as far as I can tell, standing on the flower doesn't really hurt. Doesn't seem to do anything. But everyone that's up is doing raid damage to the entire raid. Yeah, soak puddles, dodge bars, kill ads, try not to cross these beams more than you need to, like the floor lines. The tank has to run out with their big explosive. Good. Looks like another ad phase. I'm gonna go right this time. Get an extra healer over here. Oh, I think we ran too early. Or we crossed a beam or something. I think we're not meant to pull the ad. I'll check the death log. But I'm good with that. Recap. Yeah, it's just the Verdant Renegade crossing. Cycle Warden is not allowed to move. No worries, all good. All good. But I feel like I am happy with that. I think I've seen what I need to see. If you guys are good, I'm also happy to keep pulling it. I don't mind it being a pretty straightforward fight. I think that simpler fights can still be challenging in the tuning, and I'm happy to have challenge come from performing my character well while being aware and moving, as opposed to doing... Because when they make really complicated mechanics, it just becomes like the arms race to try to make them easier via tools and stuff, and then it's a question of who has the tools. This is not the first boss, no. First boss is Gnarl Root. This is also LFR, so this is not, you're not looking at like the heroic fight or anything like that. I like these nice speedy runbacks. I do feel like I'm going to forget to pick up the run speed when in real life when I'm actually doing this. I'm going to be like tabbed out or I don't know, doing something else with my brain after I wipe, and I'm going to be just like auto running back, and I won't pick up the speed buff, and then people will have to wait like 20 extra minutes for me to show up. I would say a DPS's job on this fight would be, yes, attack the boss, but also dodge bars. Don't run across multiple lines without stacking up your buff. I would also say stacking in the green circles is important, because otherwise you're going to be taking a ton of raid damage. Of course you're allowed to do them blind. You do not have to read guides or study. It is completely up to you. It is very voluntary whether or not you want to look up in the fight ahead of time. Different groups will have different expectations. I'm sure plenty of raids are happy to go in and kind of learn it all together and see it for the first time with each other. And other groups will prefer for their members to have some background. Completely up to your raid. I'm just so happy that we got in to see it. Yeah, so definitely don't go early during the ad phase, and definitely don't move the big ads. But yeah, we even with a bunch of people missing, we like had that easy. All right. Whenever you're ready. The way that my raid team does it is a couple people will do some research. I'm one of them. My raid leader will also typically look up the fights, watch some videos ahead of time. And then when we're doing the raid for the first time, they'll give us like a couple of notes in Discord before we go. Like they'll like just say things, and then we'll pull it, and then they'll tell us what to do or like what the mechanic is after we've died to it once. Works really good. I guess they'll link a video. My video, because they're sweet like that. They'll link my video in the Discord, and then they'll take a little bit of a break, so if people want to watch the video, they can run it before we try the fight, because those are quite short. But it's optional. I've never begrudged anybody if they didn't want to watch the video. I would say that Aberrus and then this tier are probably the easiest raids to learn from sight. They've made the raids much easier to sight read. The mechanics are more clear and easy to understand. They don't need as much background information. It's more obvious what you should do just from looking at the fight than it used to be, which might eventually put me out of a job, but I think it's great for the game. I think it's great it's great for raids in general to make the thing easier to understand from the get-go. And it definitely makes progression a lot smoother when you don't have that frustration of like, oh geez, I want to do this, I just don't understand it. And like, I used to have anxiety because I would try my best and I would do as much as I could. And I would read and I would watch the guide and I would just not get it for a while. Like there would be a mechanic that I just didn't understand how to execute properly, despite my best efforts to try to understand. And I would feel stupid and I would be like really upset about it. Like I would get really insecure about it and not have any fun. And eventually it would get through my head after a bunch of them. But a lot of them were just, I don't know, tough to understand. Or once you understand them, it's just kind of tough to, like just a lot of things happening at once. And I mean, it's fine. You progress and you learn, you practice, and parts of it become muscle memory. But I'm okay with the fights being more straightforward. I think they can still be tuned in a way that's challenging. And I'm not a mythic raider, so I've never really been looking for the very hardest content anyways. I think if I was, then I would probably want to go see about getting into a mythic guild if I wanted a real challenge. I bet you that stuff's still going to be pretty spicy. I love this one. But I think this makes it much like nice and accessible. Somebody who's new can kind of figure out what they can do to help from like a quick note. Everyone wants to feel like they're helping. I want to do mythic, but they don't want me. Start your own mythic guild with sprinkles and good feelings. I have no idea what would go into running a mythic guild, but I think the answer is more than I could stomach. Okay. So there's the grass. We run along the grass path. We go to the ad. My guild became mythic, then I became an officer. My entire WoW has changed. Oh, we're gonna kill it. We're gonna kill it with a lightened group. This is great. Is this a cool looking staff? Yeah. That was perfect. End recording only. Yeah, okay. And I'm back. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. It makes a huge difference. It makes my life a lot easier. Thanks. Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, man. That was great. One thing I would say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you really are very good and you just don't know it yet, because I don't know. I don't know what your standards for good are, and I don't know what your gameplay's like. But I will say, never resign yourself to playing at the level that you are at forever if that's not what you want. If you're happy with where you're at, then that's great and you're done and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to play at a different level than where you are, there's nothing to say that players that are really good were always like that. It is something that can be learned. It's something you can practice. It's something that can be taught. And it's not something that you have to be like, well, it's not that you are a bad player. It might be that you're playing badly, so to speak, but that doesn't mean that you always will. It's important to kind of separate that idea of who you are and what kind of player you are from what you're actually doing, because what you're doing can be worked on, but your self-image is a tougher one. Hazel talking all along. I know, right? I come back and it's just like a little jellyfish going bloop, 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 bloop. Well, I should take a short break because I have a strong desire to go see my puppy. When I come back, we're going to pick out a new stream title because we've done the LFR PTR. We're all good now. Pick out a new stream title, find something to do to kick back and enjoy the rest of the Saturday morning stream. BRB. Mr. Moose wanted a plate, and I wanted a plate. Got the duck, and then he tugs on the duck, and then I tug on the duck, and he goes... I could just eat him up with a spoon. I did play. I wanted to play more, but then I was like, I'm streaming. And I didn't even stream yesterday, so I like really got to stream today. Stream title. Headless Horseman. I'm the reason that Horseman is headless. There we go. There's a bold claim. Let's do some Headless Horseman on retail. I gotta switch over to retail. Here we go. That's the Halloween spirit. So I did these two already. Oh, she looks so cool. Yeah, let's just do more. Let's just do Horseman for a while. Or forever. Or until it gives me Arfus. I don't know if it's good odds. Could be, who's to say? I'm not going to bother too much with curses. I'm just going to kind of like queue up and run it a bunch. Also, you spelled it wrong. Hey, there's the... I didn't do it on purpose, but that's the secret to getting engagement on the internet. It's just horse mean now. It's mean forever. Yeah, we'll leave it. It's fine. I'm the reason. And also why he's mean. Love your head. Isn't she sick? Some of the characters look better bald than others, but holy moly does she look awesome. Plus, you know, heritage armor. Yeah, your first run of a day on a character has the goodie box. And then your first run on a day on an account has a stronger chance of the mount. And then potentially the other stuff, but we don't really know. Yeah, I'm not going to do curses. I've done enough curses. I'm liable to... I mean, you could just, like, do curses and then stand in them, but, like, I don't want to. There was a news video today. It came out late, but it should be out. But let me double check, because if it didn't post, then I need to post it. After this horseman, I'll double check. 17 times every day. Got the mount the first day. Never seen Arfus for the saddle. I got the saddle yesterday. And Flabby got the saddle also a couple days ago. That one is real. I think both times on the first run of the day. I haven't seen Arfus yet, though. It posted, just finished watching it. Oh, good. Video did post. Nice. Cool. I don't even think I have mouse overrun. I don't have mouse overrun. I have to heal like an old fat... Hang on. I'm turning it on. I can't live like this. Mouse overcast, please. But yeah, it definitely did post late. When I do them ahead of time, I schedule them for 6 a.m. Pacific, and I posted this one probably like 8-ish. Because that's when I finished it. All good, all good. It was late. I edited it. I edited it this morning. I thought very cute. I have all my desk plushies, and I put on my warm sweaters. Sometimes I wear my clothes backwards in the morning because I get dressed in the dark because I'm trying not to wake up my partner. Unsuccessfully, but I try. And then I come out here and I've got everything on backwards and upside down and inside out. And then I'm like, well, as long as I'm warm. Thanks for the fun. I enjoyed that. Thank you all so much for helping me with that. Seriously, I could not have gotten an LFR queue without you guys, and I really needed to see it. Or at least it makes my life dramatically easier. Plus, it was super fun, so I really appreciate it. Give you my luck. Got the mount and the pet and the saddle. So I'm done with horseman stuff. Oh, nice. I am doing poorly here. Every now and then I see somebody like a hunter with like a really cool hunter pet, and then I wish that I liked retail hunter as much as I like classic hunter. I like classic hunter so much that I keep making them on hardcore even though they're not dying. I've never lost a hardcore hunter, but I keep making them because they're just so much fun and I just want to do the beginning levels again. It was nothing. I'm looking forward to raid season again. I just need to be all caught up on stuff. Well, will I ever be all caught up on stuff? I guess that's the thing. I'm trialing new tech in Hazel's eternal journey to attempt to be a functioning human being. The new tech is something really advanced that you probably haven't heard of called a to-do list. But I have a new way of doing it. And this is really advanced, and you've definitely never heard of this because I definitely invented it. It's the to-do list where you literally only write down one thing. You're not allowed to write down more than one thing. It's basically not a list. You write down the thing that you want to do. And then you do it. You're not allowed to write down another thing or do a different thing until you do the thing on the list. You have to stare at it and then do it. And then when you're done, you can put a new thing on the list. I realized that this might be helpful for me because the problem was never which things. I always know what I need to do. The problem is that when I'm faced with them, I panic. So the new solution is not to like write everything down and then cover up everything but the one thing. It's just to write one thing down. It's not so much an organization strategy as it is an attempt to make myself like work. It's for people like me that are nearing rock bottom in terms of functionality, where you are just really struggling to do anything. And so far, so good. Although everything works for me for like 2 days. It's the question of if it keeps working after 2 days. Did I get anything good? No. Today's goal list? No. No headers, no dates, no designs, no doodles. Just the thing and a little checkbox. No extra fancy business. This is what we do for now. Tried with my thesis, did nothing for half a year. Great technique. Dark science. Yeah. Just a thing. It's not the goal of the day necessarily. You might do more than that in a day and you might not do it. It also doesn't have to be on the same day. The date's not connected to it. The complete opposite of a dot journal, which incidentally you can do on a dot journal. To-do list for me turns into a do not list. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Where do you keep the backlog of the things? You don't. You try not to worry about them. If you need to, the other thing that I did was, if you need to get them out of your head, you can brain dump them onto a list that is not a to-do list, and there is no onus to do anything on it. But you can make a list of all the stuff that you're kind of sort of thinking about doing, and you can do that. I did it in, is any of this stuff sensitive? Bird juice, raid guide checklist, news notes, banners, brain. Yeah, no, I think I could show this. Mind maps. Mind maps are great. So this is my thing. So you do a thing, you check it off, and then you write the next one. They're written sequentially. But then on the other side, I was like, well, what kind of things would I want to put on the list aside from normal stuff like news and, like walk the dog and whatever. And then I kind of like, you do the middle thing and then you make the bubbles and you do the bubble thing. That works really good. That's great because I will dump like that every now and then and just end up with a bunch of ideas that are kind of in categories. And then I'll try to flag some of them that are time sensitive. But if my life goes by and I don't do any of that, that's okay. It would be great if I did some of it, but the one thing list is really, honestly, it's not even about the most urgent thing because I've lived a lot of time where the most urgent thing doesn't happen and I'm like, well, life's falling apart. So I'm letting go of trying to even do the urgent things. Right now, what I'm trying to do is practice doing anything. It's just basically repeating the process of deciding to do a thing and then juggling it up into the forefront of your brain until you do it. It sounds really simple. And for some people, it probably is. And they would probably think this is extremely dumb because, of course, you should be able to do a thing that you're trying to do. But it's just kind of practicing the execution part by making it so straightforward. So like I didn't even do the Saturday news video as the thing on the list. I did one of the little micro steps that I do for that. I used to write out like the 6 different parts of making a news video in a little list and I would check them off as I went. I'm not even doing that anymore. We write down one at a time. Carlo95, thank you for the 4-month resub. Made me think of that film, Mr. Holland's Opus. I'd watch a film called Hazel's Onus. Mind mapping, grossly underrated. It works really good for me. I like it very much. Did I turn on curses? I must have turned on curses. It helped me figure out what I needed to do when I needed to move. Because when I have a mind map, I don't feel like, oh my goodness, I have to start at the beginning and get to the end. I feel like, okay, these are the different batches and categories of things that that I'm keeping track of, basically. Plus, it's kind of fun. Have you tried the never leave the room without taking something with you type thing? No, I don't. I would have a hard time with that. It's probably possible. And I've been honestly carrying around plushies from room to room, but that's just because I'm having an obsession with plushies. I'm in my Squishmallows era, and I will accept no criticism on this point. Mind mapping is a way of taking notes in college. Yeah, that's a good idea. Do they work? So I'm not a mental health practitioner. I don't even have a good grip on my own mental health, so I'm not a great place for advice. I do say that brain dumps are nice for me, and all it really is you writing down stuff that's on your mind. You can do it in a big giant list. You can do it in a long stream of consciousness thought. You could audio record it if you want and just like make a voice memo where you just say all the things that are on your mind. The idea is that you're kind of using your paper as an extension of your brain because it's easier to kind of come to grips with that stuff if you can see it. So you're just kind of getting it all out on paper so you can like reckon with it. Because for me, all of that stuff stays in my brain and it just like yells at me until I'm afraid, and then I spend my whole life like running and hiding. So if I can write it down on paper, it's still scary and I get like horrible anxiety while I'm doing it, but I feel a million times better once I've done it because it doesn't seem as scary when it's actually written down. And ideally you can then take steps to do something about it, but sometimes that's too scary, and honestly writing it down is like the point. I've never felt a squishmallow. I feel like it's dark magic. If I touch it, I'll become addicted. Yeah, it's kind of how I felt. I avoided them for years, being like, that's not for me. And then I was like, well, what if I want just one? And then I got one, and then I was like, oh. Because it's just a plush toy. They're just cute plush toys. I'm not a stranger to cute plush toys. But it's dangerous, especially if you're an adult that has any disposable income, because you have this feeling of like, you remember being a child and having your favorite toy bring you like 7 years of joy. And then you're an adult and you're like, well, for like $15, I could have that much joy. Like in my head, every new one is mapped to the same amount of joy that I got from my favorite plush ever as a kid. And I think that's probably not accurate. I think that same logic also contributes to spending too much money on Steam sales. You think that every game that you buy is going to give you the same amount of joy that you had from like the 3 games that you had as a child. But yeah. Never heard them until you mentioned them about a week ago. Yeah, and you don't need to worry about it. It's not necessarily a good thing. Beaver and a moose because they are Canadian. Which moose do you have? I have a moose too. I have a moose with a scarf, and then I have a turkey, and then I had what I thought was a squirrel, but it turned out to be a chipmunk. I wish I would still believe in games. Sometimes I'll borrow the Kidlet Squishmallow. Does it make you feel warm inside? Yeah. I have a little squad of sea creature themed ones, and they sit at my desk, and I put them beside my little visual timer clock. So I'll have like we have Maeve the manatee, or we have Olden the octopus, or we have Easton the anglerfish. Boop, 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 boop. And they'll like sit beside my timer, and then, you know, I'll twist my little star and be like, I'm gonna work for 10 minutes, and then Olden here's like, you can do it. And I apparently I'm never gonna grow up. That's an anglerfish? Yeah, he's got little teeth. He's got little toothies. There's his little teeth. I read a fun trivia fact that apparently in actual anglerfish, the angler appendage is only possessed by female fish, but Easton is a male anglerfish, so many people in the Squishmallows community consider him to be one of the trans Squishmallows. Does your squishy moose's nose look like a pig snout? Yeah, I think so. You want to see him? Also, this is going to beep in about 10 minutes. Like I said, I have a problem. This is the one that I thought was a squirrel that turns out is a chipmunk that I would have known if I had thought about it, but it's fuzzy in the tummy. And then this is the moose with with like the pig snout nose. Hi, kitty. There is the rule though that any and all squish get ejected from the lap if the cat wants up in the lap, because real animals come first. The trick is to know when to stop, and that is a trick that I'm not well known for. But I've had like 100 WoW plush forever, and those haven't done me any harm, so. Prices on them will kind of vary based on size and where you buy them and if you get them on sale. One of my rules to myself is I'm not allowed to buy them online. I have to go buy them in a store. And I'm not allowed to pay more than off-the-shelf price for them. So I'm not like picking up like a special one off eBay for $100 because that could get out of hand. But the big chunky ones that are like this size, at least in Canada, are around $30, and then it goes down from there. Yeah, the one that Moose slobbered on survived. It went through the wash, did good. That one's in my bed right now. I get that joy from tiny containers. I have a half-inch bottle of Tabasco. It's a hobby that has no redemption, just a lot of very small jars. Why? Not sure. Here we see what happens when you acquire. Yeah, it's... I was warned about this, too. I think it was the right place and the right time and the right mental state for me to get obsessed by something. But as long as I can take it easy and not have them drown me out, then I'll be all right. Sisters might love those. I think I'm going to find a good one to give to my nephew for Christmas. Longer snuggle models of Squisher, so good. But they're very clever in that they have a bajillion designs, so they probably have your favorite animal, or they probably have something that like really speaks to you. And there's always like different ones whenever you go to like, I don't know, they carry them at a lot of places. They carry them at my grocery store, my drugstore, and my hardware store. So I just check to see who's there whenever I'm shopping, which is how I get into trouble. But I like picking at one to come with me to my desk when I'm working, and I like picking at one to come with me to the couch when I'm playing Animal Crossing. And then I like hiding it behind my back or burying it under a blanket to try to protect it from my puppy. And then I put it away and I go play with my puppy. GF got the turtle one. I got one, an otter one. It was a weakness. It matches your name. Collect hobbies, but never touch them after the hyperfixation disappears. I do a very similar thing, but I like to think instead of abandoning my hobbies, I am retiring them into like a lovely memory garden of past hobbies where I retain a lot of the trivia from the hobby, and sometimes I will retain like a smaller and more reasonable version of doing the thing. So one of my fixations was aquariums, freshwater fish keeping. I got real into it. At one point I had 3-4 different aquariums in an apartment. I was doing various things with them. I was reading all the books and I was doing all the stuff. And then nowadays, fast forward to like 4 or 5 years later, I am no longer fixated on aquariums, but I still have one and I still maintain it and I still enjoy the fishies. I'm just not obsessed with them to the same life-ruining degree that I was at the time that I got super into aquariums. I've trinketed. Yeah, they do have food ones. They do have food ones. I have specifically stuck to animal ones, and I'm trying to prioritize either sea creatures or animals that might be like Pacific Northwesty. So I wanted like squirrels and moose and deer. There's an orca whale, although it was a SeaWorld promotion, which I don't know how I feel about that. But some of them I just got because I just liked them. You know, you see them in the store and you're just like, oh no, I need it. Legos, Warhammer, Pokemon, I'm sure the list will only grow. Sometimes I cycle back to things too. Every now and then I'll revisit something and then I'll be building on the knowledge base that I built the first time that I was obsessed. Remember how we talked about perfection a while back? I got one each for my niece and nephew, and I want to play too. Celestial bodies, plushy planets with their name embroidered on them. Oh, that sounds really cute. Do I count Bigfoot as an animal? I mean, I have one that's apparently the Loch Ness Monster, so I guess being a real animal is not that important to me. I didn't know it was the Loch Ness Monster when I got it, but it's still cute. Need hobby, less sit in front of computer, sit on couch quietly like I need to punch something. People swear by bouldering, rock climbing for that. I agree. I like hiking. I like going and exploring outside. I like looking for bugs and birds and rocks and dirt and stuff. Clouds, fish, mushrooms. There's all kinds of stuff outside, man. But you know, to each their own. I like dirt. Daughter, also an adult, has frequent ones. Drives me nuts when you see plushy orcas that have bottlenose dolphins. No. Yeah, the orca plush doesn't look wildly orca-like to me, but I understand that they super simplify their designs. Hazel, I got into a 10. ICC Heroic Pug, time to get decked out in gear. I'm the only plate slow one-handed weapon user. Oh, you are in the right place at the right time. You are set. Another inside thing. Outside seems nice. Yeah. Yeah. You'll find your thing. The problem with hiking is that it's I usually have to drive. I hate driving. Or driving occasionally causes anxiety. And it'll cause less anxiety if I keep driving, and I would drive more if I did more hiking, but I just like find my favorite spots and I just keep going to those ones. Ever thought about tumbling? Collecting and polishing rocks. You go through a houseplant phase? Yeah, and I think I'm still, you could say that I'm still in my houseplant era. I still have upwards of 25. Should probably water them today. check in. I mean, it's winter time, so they go dormant, but I should probably check in and see who needs water today. But yeah, my phases, eras, if you will. I did houseplants. I did tea. I got really into tea. Fish. Cats. Well, cat. Just the one. Oh, where is she? I'm trying to think of things that I got like actually like fixated, hyper obsessed on that weren't games, because games are cheating. Games are easy. Baking? I have baking moments every now and then. What kind of fish were you keeping? What are you keeping right now? Currently have cherry barbs. I've got 6 cherry barbs. I've had him for a year and a half. And then a narite snail. His name is Sam. In previous tanks, I once had this beautiful 20 long community tank where I did a handful of panda cories. I did a honey gourami. Well, what I thought was a honey gourami that I later discovered to be like a thick lip gourami, and then later a honey gourami, and that's when I found out that my first gourami was not a honey gourami, it was bigger. Anyway, gourami. Oh, my Bolivian ram. That was my favorite fishy. I miss him. I hope he found a good home. I rehomed him through a fish store when I moved. That was a good fish. He was my only cichlid. I did a couple of different kinds of fish for the top of that tank. I had some success with white cloud mountain minnows. Those ones lived a good long time. They were pretty happy. And then I had betta tanks. And then I did inverts for a while too. I did snails and shrimp. I'm not taking the curses. Puppies and houses. Puppies and houses were very like web-based obsessions. So I was super hyper fixated on them. But I mean, I guess I did get a dog. I did get a dog. But that was very much like I'm going to sink onto the couch with my laptop and I am not moving until something makes me move, which could be hours and hours and hours. And like, I will talk about this continuously, which I guess is still a hyperfixation, but it wasn't tied to an activity. And until I got a dog, it wasn't tied to any shopping. I certainly shopped for my dog once I got one. And I like shopping for Mr. Moose. Oh yeah, and then fishing in terms of, I also did fishing in terms of like actually going fishing, like catching recreational sport fishing and fishing for food. That was a different type of fish that I got into last summer. Getting those that don't breed with each other, that was a mistake. Yeah, I also have there's a timer. I also have a no more live bearers policy. What were my live bearers? I had endlers. I had endlers, and someone told me something that made me think that it would be fine. And I figured that if I introduced them into my community tank, that there would be some amount of population control from like the gourami. No, not so much. I ended up shutting that down because I was not prepared to deal with that. Turns out fish breeding strategies occasionally are accounting for all of the hungry fish of the universe. And if you don't have hungry fish, then you're going to have a problem. Ultralight fishing, super fun. Yeah, I mostly did medium gear fishing. I mean, light to medium gear, but it's definitely not ultralight. I spent the summer fishing for rainbow trout and bass in lakes. And then I spent the next summer, which is this most recent one, fishing rockfish off of the ocean beaches and stuff, like rock fishing off of rocks, which was so fun. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. And they're so yummy. They're so delicious. It was good. Pretty into coloring your long hair. Yeah, that was more, for the most part, I would go to a salon to get that done. So that was keeping up a look via a regular standing appointment with my stylist. It was fun. It was fun, but it wasn't an obsession the way some of the stuff was. Got back into reptile keeping. Haven't done it since I was a kid. But yeah, I think I'm due for a resurgence in needlework. I had a cross-stitching and a embroidering phase last winter that was really nice and cozy, and assuming that I have enough time outside of like the dog and stuff, I would like to do that again. But I have a doggy now. So I have, oh my goodness, a sinister squashling. Wow. Mr. Moose keeps me pretty busy. He's a busy puppy. How's the Arfus hunt going? I mean, I'm cozy. I'm having a nice time. I'm comfy. I need to spend more time training my dog is what I need to do. He's so well behaved that I got lazy. I taught him a handful of things, and then we practiced the things that I taught him, but I haven't taught him anything new in ages. I just keep drilling him on the stuff that he already knows, which is good. You know, we need to keep reinforcing, especially working on like recall and stuff. It's just so hard because he's, well, because it's hard. Training dogs hard. I know that he's like a baby and that it's the first time I'm raising a puppy and training a dog on my own and that I'm doing my best. But I want him to be perfect because he's so smart and I have like everything going for me. Like I have all of the opportunity and the information in the world to really put in the time and help him become a really well-mannered, you know, well-behaved member of dog society. He's doing fine. He's doing fine. I'm just, you know, I want him to be perfect. Prospect of cranking at 50k or more words a month. Daunting. Oh, the November writing month. Yeah. I've never done that. It used to cross my radar on Twitter every once in a while. And then I used to think, yeah. And then I thought, yeah, you don't write the rest of the year. Why would you write in November? Diarrhea Lad, welcome back. Thank you very much for the 5-month resub. Saturday, more like sat around and did nothing your day. It's the best kind. Cozy. Actually, my sweater's not even that itchy. I thought I was going to be in pain today wearing the sweater, and I was going to have to go change until I could vacuum it another 2 times to get the rest of the hair shards out of it, but we're doing okay. My super French grandma taught me how to crochet. Have you ever done that? I have a kit that my sister got me for my birthday that is a learn to crochet kit that teaches you how to crochet like a little stuffed cat. And I haven't picked it up yet because I'm intimidated and because she also gave me a needle felting kit to needle felt a whale, and I've been working on that instead. Not a lot, but here and there. I know how to knit. I don't know how to crochet. But all of the fiber arts are like super cozy to do in the wintertime. A lot of Woobles kits to learn crochet. Never opened one. Scared of it. I feel like I have enough faith in myself that if I sat down and I watched a YouTube video or 2 if I needed to, and I like paid attention, I could probably learn how to crochet. I think as long as I don't get too frustrated and I just like take my time and think, it'll be okay. And that I can handle it. Just hasn't really come up yet. Yeah, I can cross stitch. I have a project that's ongoing that will probably be ongoing forever and ever and ever because for my first cross stitch project, I picked something enormously too big. It's a Christmas stocking pattern. And honestly, I'm just really bored of the part that I'm in right now. And I guess I could just like leave it alone and come back to that part and do a more fun part. But I'm stubborn, so I want to finish doing the boring part before I move on to anything else. And all I'm doing right now is I'm cross-stitching snow onto a branch. And it's white thread on top of really light blue thread. And you can barely see it. And also I messed it up before, so I'm kind of improvising. And I just need to get past that part so I can like get back to the pattern. And I'm almost done, but like I can't. Ever since I got the puppy, I haven't been able to sit down with it for more than like 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm trying for Arfus. Socks and scarves is about what I can manage. Hey, socks and scarves are useful. Working in the same scarf for like 7 months now. Yeah, it's the same stocking. Not for my sister, though. Stocking is seen a lot. It has a completed hootie hoo on it, at least. It's got one owl. It's the snow on the branch that the owl is sitting on that I'm currently working on. I would like to do that at some point. It's just there's a lot of things that I'd like to do. Now is not the time for me to think about getting back into my hobbies. Now is the time for me to think about getting back into making raid guides. And whatever else was on this list. YouTube videos, that would be cool. Hair color looks like candy I want to eat. It's really grown on me. I thought it was, I didn't, no, it's really grown on me. I actually really like it. I feel super cute. What did I do? Oh, I can look back. BlizzCon. Yeah, I gotta figure out what I want to do for BlizzCon. I've kept my schedule hella open, so I'm gonna co-stream it, certainly. I don't know if I'm gonna co-stream the deep dive, because that's like at 3:30 on the Saturday. But on the Friday, I'm gonna basically hang out and stream all day, I think. Or at least stream until the end of the WoW What's Next panel. I don't know if I'm gonna hang around for the classic one. That one, I think, I still want to watch it, but I might watch that. I gotta save some stuff to watch, like, I don't know, in bed. Make BlizzCon bingo! Yeah, we'll do some kind of co-stream situation. Was it not this one? Oh no, we're logging back onto the previous one. Did a horseman group where someone kicked someone for low DPS? Oh no! Take my number sounds fun. Or just coloring books, honestly. Hi, kitty cat. Would you like to come sit with me? I can kick the squishmallow off. Laps are for kitties. Hi, Meow Meow. Ta-da. No, no good. Hi. You want to say hi? You want to look pretty on camera? You look pretty every day. Hi. Hi. How you doing? Tell me all about it. Telling you all about it. So the deep dive is where they're going to dig into whatever details of the thing that they announce on day one. So on day one, they'll probably give us some broad strokes announcements during the open ceremonies and then more during the WoW What's Next. The deep dive is where they would really dig into like systems or whatever. Popping by for cat on cam since my wife isn't watching a stream beside me right now. Hi. Kitty. The husband. What? Kitty? It wasn't Kitty. We're logging Horseman. Classic Plus talk? Oh, Nordic is hubby. Oh! I thought you were implying that I was married to my cat. And I wasn't entirely against it. But we're just really good friends, huh? I gotcha. We've heard many things about your wonderful coffee supply. Classic Plus would be the dream. Praying for it. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they have to say. Remarried to the cat. Kitty, I don't feel like you're all that interested in matrimony. If you want a new friend, you can hang out with the dog. He would love that. I need to do another intro. I found out last time that Moose can and will fit underneath the bed, which is shocking. I didn't realize that my dog was the blob. He really wanted to get under the bed to see Kira, and I thought she was safe under there, and she thought she was safe under there. And then Moose was like, but, and then he like flattens out his shoulders, sploots his arms out like that, and goes, and I was really worried he was going to get stuck under the bed. But he came back out when I asked him to, and then we put a lid on the cat-dog greetings for the moment. But it was a couple days ago, so it's about time that you guys made friends again. Eventually, he's going to be so big that he won't fit under there, and then she has a place that she can go under there if she really wants to get away from him, because that's kind of the only, like, she doesn't go up high, really. The highest she'll go to is onto the bed, because she can't see where she's going. Be a blob for a good long while. He's just got such a beefy frame, you know? He's got, like, a big barrel-chested ribs. Give him another couple weeks. Yeah, I don't want him to get stuck. I mean, we could lift it off of him, but it would just be a big mess, and you wouldn't want to, like, put it back down to the cat. It would be a big thing. Kitty likes my partner very much, but I'm still the #1 pick for person to crawl into bed next to. Hi. I know. Which I take as a big compliment because he is warmer. Did I DPS queue? I did. Was that a good idea? No. Give me heirlooms. Give me protection. I think eventually Moose would be able to just stand up and shake off the broken pins of the bed. I'm pretty sure the bed is made out of steel. It's metal, which is not really my vibe, but it was a gift. I was like a hand-me-down, and I wasn't one to look a gift bed in the mouth when I didn't have a bed. Pre-made raid finder. No. What do I want? I want a sword and a shield. A one-hander. Funnily enough, the old caster shield heirloom does have oh, definitely not raid finder. Crinkle tanks raid finder with heirloom weapons. Has strength on it. Hey, sweetie pie. I want to buy her special treats for Christmas. And she won't eat any of the special treats I buy for her. She just wants her greenies. And I buy her those, and I give her lots of them. So I guess we could just do that. But I want to get you something special, but she won't eat any of it. Mr. Moose, my puppy, will eat anything. Especially if it's food. Food is extra good, but he'll eat anything you put in front of him. But he's easy to buy surprises for because he'll eat all of it, and he does not seem to have a sensitive tummy or anything. He can digest anything, so he's in good shape. He can get special stuff from anywhere. Chicken covered in catnip. She doesn't have the catnip gene. Apparently there's a genetic component for cats that determines whether or not catnip does anything for them, and she is missing it. She goes nuts for bleach, but I can't put bleach in her food. But if like there's a towel or sheets or something that's been washed with bleach, she will go crazy for that. But catnip, nothing doing. Apparently it's a thing. Apparently I'm not the only person that has a bleach cat. It means that you have to be very careful with the laundry chemicals. Someone back me up here. It's not just me. Ours love bleach and chlorine. Yeah. Thank you. Do I have anger? Kind of. How would I? Oh, it doesn't matter. Press anything. press anything and try to keep aggro. Maybe if I switch these ones around. Hey, look, I used Shockwave. Wow, would you look at that? Mine licks plastic grocery bags. I know that the Z button heals me. That's like the new impending victory is like victory rush. So that's good. Maybe I should be in defensive stance. Let's do that. I don't think I was in any stance. Maybe I'll do more aggro this way. Wow, would you look at that? What is Silvervine? It sounds like a fantasy plant. I've never heard of that before. Does she still think coffee? I am a coffee drinker. I've never known her to have any opinions about it whatsoever. She doesn't really beg for my food unless I have dairy. And even that she's kind of calmed down on. But she used to, there was one time I had yogurt and granola on stream and Kat was like staging a coup. she was after it. Makes it with towels that I've washed. One cat obsessed with coins would rub on them endlessly, try to eat them. Oh wow, that's scary. I can't judge though. I used to like holding coins in my mouth when I was a kid, and then my parents told me that that's a very unhygienic thing to do. Don't do it. Had a cat that liked pennies. Aww. I liked the metal taste. Also, I guess if you're a kid, you gotta get your immune system up and running somehow, right? We should be very clear. None of this is good advice for things to give to your pets. Just sharing funny stories. Had a cat fascinated with fire. Oh no. Or kids. Yeah, that too. Swallow 3 pennies as a toddler. I turned it fine. You guys ever get the speech from your parents about just wait until you have kids as kind of like a threat? Being like a man, I'm frustrated now because I'm a parent, but one day it's gonna be you. And then you grow up and you're like, well, you're right, that sounds awful. No, thank you. Yeah. Horseman Sinister Slicer. I got the sword, but I've had the sword already. That tanking that actually wasn't so bad on Crinkle. You found the loophole. Betcha they didn't think about that. Drop to look at for the horseman. Off the actual horseman himself, basically nothing. He'll drop rings. But the loot box that you get for your first kill of it every day has a chance at Headless Horseman's mount. There's a Drake riding customization, a pumpkin that goes in the back of your Windborn Velocidrake, and there is also a pet called Arphis, which is what I really want. There's also like the Sinister Squashling and a bunch of masks and stuff, but nobody likes this. One box per day per character. 1 box per day per character, so you can get more boxes than one by running a bunch of alts. In theory, they will not have the same chances the mount as your first character per account per day. Not in theory, like actually, like your first run per account per day will have a better chance at the mount. But we don't really know what's going on with the pets, so I'm just running a bunch of characters anyways. Was that a normal dungeon queue? You're right, that was a normal dungeon queue. Let's fix that, shall we? I've actually done that before. I've not noticed and then had the queue pop and then been like, well, I guess I have to do this normal dungeon. I can't bail on them now. Arphis should be able to drop as long as you're in a 60 plus character. 60 plus gets the purple pumpkin that can drop Arphis. Hi. Whoa. You purring? Sometimes I wish I could purr so I could purr back at my cat. Just so that she knows that I understand. But I've only ever been able to make incredibly frightening noises when attempting to purr. Sounds like a bear that's trying to charge. He can still drop a mount. It's the same mount as it's always been, but it would be out of the daily loot pumpkin. Whoopsed into Heroic Morchi the other day. Oh, man. Hi. So this is going to be a longer queue because it's DPS, because it has to be DPS. Did you do the Heroic Morchi? I wouldn't judge anybody for leaving. I think I've left some of those too. I've definitely done it before though. Hey. I'm gonna make chili today. I soaked my beans last night. Didn't do too terrible considering the character didn't even have a 4 set. Back in the 90s, there was a choker that allowed purring. Same principle as vibrating boxes for speech. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I saw them in Japan. Wow. Her other noises are not too bad. I can kind of approximate her chirps. And I can kind of approximate her meows because, well, those are just fun. But, I can't purr. I can hum. Sometimes I'll hum her songs. But we haven't established any favorite genres of music. Moose is a baby, so he just gets children's songs. He just gets Moosey the Moo. Or Moosey, Moosey, Moo, where are you? I heard you're a puppy. You gotta change up the lyrics, and they're always extremely on the nose and unimaginative. I know you said chili. My brain hears jelly. What kind of jelly do you make from beans? I mean, sometimes if I'm making like cooked beans just to put in burritos or whatever, I like cooking them down quite far. I like really mushy beans that are basically like refried beans. So you just leave them in the Instant Pot long enough, and there you go. You got, well, not jelly, but jelly beans. Oh. That's not the answer you were looking for. I ate a gummy worm yesterday. Entirely in one bite. I put the whole thing in my mouth at once. And I've never done that before. I've always been the person to like nibble off the end and then eat them segment by segment. But for whatever reason, I just consumed it. And all of the sour candy as on the end hit my mouth at once. And I had like an experience, but I also was like on my way to go to the dog park, so I didn't have time to process it. I was just like salivating on the sidewalk. Ducky313, thank you for the 24-month 3-sub. I was so happy when I got the Headless Horseman mount. I figured I would never have to do that encounter again. Guess I have to go back for the dragon thingy now. Well, thanks for the resub. I hope you get it. I got the dragon thingy. I want the pet. I want Arthas. Yeah, just the one gummy worm. They're pretty big. It's enough candied that it kind of triggers a sugar headache if you do too many of them. Oh, I had a bunch of gummy worms and fuzzy peaches when I was watching Alien, and it was really fun, but then I felt awful. Got Arthas twice, no mount. Here for Arthas. Didn't think the Arthas drop rate would be this low. Yeah, right? Had the pet twice now? Really? Oh, You're like the third person that I've heard say they've gotten Arthas twice, which makes me feel like, where's mine? Give it. Do I have an official BlizzCon snack? No. No. I made a chickpea salad for dinner last night that I'd never made before. I actually like opened a cookbook and then like wrote some things down, and then I went to the store and then I bought the things and I like made the thing. And it was pretty good. That has nothing to do with BlizzCon snacks, but I just wanted to share that I cooked. Arthas is not cageable. Drop rate may be higher when you enable hard mode. It's not confirmed. Arthas on the third day decided to stop doing hard mode. Making soft pretzels for Halloween party. 17 kills a day. I see many people saying got settled in Arthas multiple times. Yeah, chickpeas are great. I think I'm getting back on the train of just buying canned chickpeas and beans instead of pre-cooking them just to save time, because I'm starting to realize who I am. And I am a person that will not eat them as often if I am pre-soaking and then pre-cooking them. They're nicer when I pre-soak and pre-cook them, and it's certainly cheaper and lighter to truck home, but It's not that expensive to buy like a can of chickpeas on sale, or to stock up on them when they're on sale. And you know, I've got recycling that can take the cans. Yeah, that blue post confirmed that the first kill of the day increases the chance at the mount. They specifically said the Headless Horseman mount. Aside from that, we're all just guessing. You can interpret, but it's hard to say. Maybe I should have prioritized. I mean, it's 11:37. After this, I'll wait in this queue. It's only been 6 minutes. I waited for like what, half an hour, 40 minutes to get the LFR queue going, and I didn't mind that. I don't know why I'm so impatient about Horsemen, but maybe after this one I will whatchamacallit, prioritize characters that can get healer queues and stuff. Doing hard mode, not necessarily, potentially no reason. It very well may improve your chances. I'm still doing hard mode for my first one of the day, but also, like, again, none of us know, so we're all just kind of doing our best that we can. I'm doing hard mode in my first kill of the day, but I've kind of given up for the subsequent ones. Hi. Hi, boo-boo. Nothing without it, maybe a thing. Hi. But I figured that for all the characters that I'm running without the hard mode, they weren't characters I was going to really run anyways. So it's just bonus queuing up. Where are you going? There's nothing on my desk for you. Not unless you want my plushies. You could have them. Moose can't. He's not allowed. He will consume them, but if you want to play with them, that's fine. A lot of Arca Pack, Mylar coated hermetic carton. Can fit without the can. Yeah, that sounds good. Do you know how the curses work? They add affixes to make it harder. You are only enabling them for yourself. It's a very individual opt-in thing. And having the curses on supposedly increases your chance at getting stuff. Exactly how and what and when and wherefore and why are a little bit fuzzy, but certainly for the mount, for the Headless Horseman mount, having the curses enabled should increase your chance of getting that. It may also increase your chances of the other things. We don't really know. The more I talk about it, the more I'm kind of talking myself into doing curses on more characters. Hi. Kitty, I might need that arm. But I feel like the only reason that they could possibly have for not telling us more about how it works is that they think we wouldn't like the answer and then we would get mad. Okay, Kitty, I need that arm. Oh no. She's actually got like her arm, like she's got muscle into it. She wants it. Sweetie. She doesn't ask for a whole lot. I can't imagine not having a cat. Mimi. Giving up on Time Reaver. Level 28 tunes through Time Way. Still haven't seen it. Time Reaver, I feel like, has such an astronomically low drop rate that the only way it happens to most people is if it just happens to you and you're not trying for it. You were just doing something else, not thinking about it, and then it randomly drops because of RNG. I think trying to brute force Time Reaver is, like, real rough. But yeah, you guys talk me into it. I'll turn curses on. First time in my adult life moving into an apartment solo. Any tips? Ooh, fun. keep a running, like, written down list, either in, like, a note in your phone or a piece of paper somewhere, of, like, all of the adulting stuff that you gotta do, like getting your utilities set up and your bills and change of address forms and all of the gross adult stuff. You don't have to do it all in one day, but just have a running checklist somewhere that you can work through to make sure that you have, like, a place to write down account numbers and phone numbers and, like, whatever else you need to get sorted out for all the stupid stuff. Again, like, keep a running, not again, I haven't said it yet, but another list that's nice to keep is, like, a running shopping list of, like, oh, hey, I need a toilet plunger, I need a shower curtain, I need a dish rack. You can source these things, you can ask around for secondhand, you could just go shopping, but if you just go to the store, you're gonna be like, there's things that you've never bought before that you won't necessarily think that you'll need. So just kind of, like, doing a walk around and figuring out what things you're missing. Those ones are usually, I would usually get, like, the toilet brush and the plunger for each toilet, and then you know, shower curtain. Make sure you're set up to do dishes, like the tools you need for basic everyday stuff. Get some snacks to christen your cupboards with. It's so exciting. I also am a big fan of decorating, and this is a later you problem, but decorating with command strips for rentals, because if used properly, they can hold up stuff really well, and they come off without any damage if used properly on the right stuff. I've used command strips to hang all of the stuff. I haven't made a single hole in these walls because I cannot be bothered to fill them. Plus, you can move things without damage with those, so I'm a big fan. Do not forget to buy oven mitts. Can opener. Yeah, just keep a running list of stuff that you use that you used to use with the stuff that was before. What else? It's fun. It's an exciting time. You get to kind of, like, wander around your new area to see, like, what's around. Figure out, are there any, like, walks that you want to do? Where are you going to get your groceries? Pretty sure you need ice cream. Yeah, it's basically a lot of lists. Am I planning to move soon? Me? No. I remember. Pretty sure that's how I survived it. But it's so nice having your own little haven where the rules are up to you. You get to decide who comes in, who goes out, and, well, who comes in. People are allowed to leave. Now that you mention it, you get to decide who you invite over. How warm you want to keep it, how clean you want to keep it, where you want to store your towels and your spoons, and we did win Elifar. We did. Here, let's skip ahead to Honeyplum and Nightflame and Anthus. He's just holding hostages. Back in the day, I actually had access to a cannery machine. Gave a lot of people canned can openers, which not everybody left. Oh, man. Good footage? Yeah, I think so. I'm happy with it. We actually saw it properly, which is great. Headless Horseman. What time is it? 11:45. Yeah, we can do, hopefully, 3 more of these before I gotta wrap up. Now I'm just thinking of moving. I mean, I hate moving, but I love setting up a new place. There's something so exciting about everything's fresh, and it's a chance to, like, declutter anything that you don't use or that's, like, in your way, and you just kind of set up everything in a way that's, like, usable and functional. And you can do this when you're not moving, but plus you get to explore and figure out what you like and what you're gonna do. Clean canvas. Come over to my new house a year later, I still feel confused. Oh, man. For a messy person, I really love organizing. I am a industry certified hot mess, but, like, man, I love cleaning up a drawer. My drawers aren't clean, but when I do get around to cleaning them, they're beautiful. And then they slowly devolve back into chaos. Marie Kondo promised me that if I organized properly and I did it her way, that I would never have to do it again, and she just wasn't right for me. She might be right for other people, but not true for me. Organized messy person or a messy organized person? Please expound. Explain. Extrapolate. Right for herself either. I mean, I think people are allowed to change their priorities. I guess, yeah, if you say never again, that is a bit of a big statement. I shall not. All right. Question stands in its end. Am I an organized, messy person or a messy, organized person? Well, I'm not organized. Am I? No, I am organized. Well, I don't know. I'm complicated. I cannot be painted with one brush. You need, I am an experience. I cannot be colored with a statement. Yeah, what I heard is that she, after having children, made an offhand statement in an interview about how her priorities evolved after she had kids, or while she had 3 young kids, and that she's relaxed her own standards on I don't know. It seemed to me like something that was kind of overblown because people felt a bit attacked by her being so tidy in the first place, so people were really excited to jump on and tear her down for admitting to being messy because it felt like revenge or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a Marie stan. I'm a Marie apologist. It just didn't seem that dire. Organized, messy person means you can find anything in the different piles of mess. See, that's an interesting one, because if you need to find something in this place and you're like, Hazel, do you know where the, passports are? Do you know where the dog nail trimmers are? And I put them somewhere stupid, I will, for the most part, know exactly where they are. But then you'll be like, Hazel, where's your water bottle? And I'll be like, I don't know. It's not here. And it will be in one of 5 places, and then it turns up in like an unknown 9th place that it was never supposed to be in the first place, and I have no memory of putting it there. So I have a vague running idea of where all of the miscellaneous stuff is, but anything that moves around often is an unknown quantity. People took it weirdly personal. Yeah, neurospicy. I like that one too. Husband's tactic, buy 2 of everything. My toes are so cold. The inside of my slippers. I have fuzzy insulated slippers. I just have no circulation. I need to just exercise. I need to just get up and do my Animal Crossing stretches, and then everything will be fine. Any luck? Nope. That was another Sinister Squashling and another sword. Let's do 2 tank runs real quick. We'll take Night Flame and Anthus through it. Headless Horseman. Ta-da! I like these guys with the long legs. How many attempts? I don't know. I haven't been counting. I'm pretty good at not losing documents now, though. I think because I have lost stuff like that before in my late teens, early 20s, and having been through an immigration process once, I've discovered the stomach-dropping feeling of you need a thing and you don't have it. So I have this thing in my brain where I'm like, well, this is important. So I'm going to put it in the place where I know where it is, and also I mentally or digitally categorize a lot of stuff as well. Mr. Moose has had enough. But for stuff that I feel like is not as important, like my pinto beans, or I feel like I had a container of it was some pantry thing. Anyways, I know I have some, but it's gone. I immigrated from Canada to the United States, and then I later de-immigrated or repatriated. I moved back home to Canada. Rarity would count them if rarity was like turned on all my characters. It seems to count them on some of them. What have I popped? I've popped Enduring Dreadplate. And then there was a... Missy, did Timmy fall down the well? Whatever seems to be the trouble. Mr. Moo.
Breath incoming.
I think Mr. Moo may be beginning to enter his teenage months as a puppy. He is approaching 6 months. And, it's a bit tougher to get his attention than it has been, even with stuff that we've worked on that he knows how to do. He is having a phase, which is, I think, normal, but still frustrating, where he knows what you're saying.
Breath incoming.
He's just not interested right now. He's busy. He has things to do. And it's quite difficult to regain his attention, even with strategies that used to work. He's also got some Husky and Malamute in his mix, so he's got a little bit of extra stubbornness coming from that. Did I turn on curses? No. I always mix up Hothead with the other thing because they tend to overlap.
Watch your feet.
But I just have to be patient and try not to take it too personally. I'm looking for Arphus. I want the pet from this. I have the other things. I just need the pet.
Spread.
I'm finding so far in my journey of training a dog
Breath incoming.
that baseline skills are just like understanding the principle is important. I think theory is important, but patience is everything. And I'm lucky that do I have patience? I don't know. I try. But he's doing good, and he's a good boy. He's the best boy. He's my moo-moo. There, let's go open the box. People, pets, pictures, and papers. Grab those and run. Do I farm the pets because I have patience or just because I'm in the habit of it now, though? Yeah, it's a great point, Saga. Anything that you let them do, they're gonna do. So if there's something that they're doing and you don't want them to do it, it's not that, like, you need to freak out. That's not helpful, but you can't allow them to do something if it's going to be a problem in the long term. Something that's cute now, if it's going to be not cute later, you got to stop it now while it's still cute. And sometimes stopping something is as easy as just not paying attention to it, especially if he's doing the thing to try to get attention. All you have to do is just ignore it, and then it's, like, not a problem. But if the thing is self-reinforcing in and of itself, then that's more trouble. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's really smart. He's a real smart cookie. Yeah, his top breeds were Shepherd, followed by Malamute, followed by Husky, followed by Australian Cattle Dog. So he's a smart cookie. He's a real high energy, beautiful, beautiful beast. He's my baby. All right, one last go, one last horseman try, and then I have been summoned. I must away. Doesn't seem all that interested in herding anything. Some of the other herding dogs at the park will like herd dogs that get too far away from the group and stuff, or like will herd people. He's not so far wildly interested in herding. He is wildly interested in licking every dog in the mouth. That is his MO. He will find every dog and he will go and he will lick them all in the mouth. Every single one of them. And if they go, hey, then he goes, oops, sorry, and he'll go find a different dog and lick them in the mouth. But until he has smooched everybody, he's not happy. Why do dogs do that? Supposedly it's a submissive greeting behavior. He's telling them all, hi, I'm Moose, please be nice to me. Please be calm with me, but then he proceeds to whirlwind around at Mach 5. He's a goofy boy. Icebreaker, yeah. Does Moose whine if you or a mystery partner veer off, leave the group? No. Doesn't really care. Doesn't seem all that worried. He will, like, kind of keep an eye on it, if we're leaving, but, like, he doesn't seem to mind when we go. Like, the room or the house. He'll just kind of sleep on the couch and be like, alright, I'm taking a nap. On the mouth or in the mouth? Depends on what he can get. But not every dog likes that. Feeling romantic. He seems to like people as well, which I'm really excited about because he has every potential to be a bit of an aloof dog or a standoffish dog with people he doesn't know. But he's just meeting so many people when he's a baby, and he's learning that people at the park are really nice and will give him pets, and I let them give him treats if they want to. So he'll kind of go up to everybody and be like, hi! And it's nice because I don't want him to be someone that's like super afraid of people. It'll make his life easier if he's nice and friendly, I think. Hello! Now, don't get me wrong, I still want him to like me better.
Coming.
But that's really up to him. I gotta just kind of let him live his life. And, just take good care of him and make sure he doesn't get into trouble. I didn't accept any curse. I just ran by. I've opted out. Took my chihuahua 5 years to learn if I'm nice to people, said people will love me. Well,
Spread.
First morning that didn't start with being body tackled by 70 kilos at Burner said it. Oh.
Breath incoming.
Moosey looks like a German Shepherd though. He's getting more, his fur is changing as he gets older. He's getting more gray and silver and white fur in his flanks. And his tail is kind of flipping out and his face is getting a lot lighter. But he still looks like a German Shepherd. People ask if he's a purebred German Shepherd puppy, and I say nope. Superman. Shelter special. Highly recommend. But it's just a luck of the draw, I think, because his siblings did not look like him at all.
Spread.
Have I mentioned he's really cute? He brings me his toy. Like, I'll be sitting on the couch or at the table eating breakfast, and he'll grab his duck, and he'll bring it to me, and he'll go put it on my knee, and he'll be like, Mom. Hi. Do you want to play? Please. And you have to play with him. Because if the only people that will play with him are other dogs, then of course he's going to like them better than me, so I have to compete. I'm fun. Right? Ferret brought me a frog once. Prefer male puppies. I didn't have a ton of criteria when I was looking for a dog. I needed a dog that I trusted I could integrate with my cat. But the property manager didn't give me any like size restrictions or anything. I didn't have any preference for a male or female dog. I had more names for a female dog, but I was just putting out applications for a variety of different dogs that seemed like they might be good fits, and Moose was the one that called back first. I do feed him. My female names were Rosie and Penny, although I think Taliesin has a child named Penny, so I think we canned that one. I liked Rosie. I wanted a doggy named Rosie. And then, bizarrely enough, I actually applied for a dog named Rosie that was named Rosie already. And I got a call back, but it was after I'd already gotten the call back from Moose. But that dog would have been, I hope she finds a home, but she would have been a different challenge because she was from overseas and she had a really tough start. That was going to be, she was socialized to cats, but she had a really sad start to life. And she seemed really sweet, and I hope she finds somebody. But I have my hands full. No luck. I was hoping for Arfus, but there's always tomorrow. We'll do more Headless Horseman tomorrow. I'm very content to hang out and stream and just kind of queue and try our luck. Yeah, it's also BlizzCon time soon, isn't it? All right, I gotta go. I will be back tomorrow morning for another stream. I did put out a news video this morning, so if you watch those, that's on YouTube. It is available now. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.